What's up, everybody? How's it going? How is everybody doing? I'm doing better. I was kind of tired and not feeling so great earlier because, it's just how things go sometimes. But I was watching Joshua Kimball's stream, which was really fun to hang out in, and he just finished. So I figured I'd start because I'm feeling better now. That wasn't like super bad, but I was just tired and stuff. I think part of it is I had some coffee and ate some food, so that was good. It's always good for the old energy. What is up, people? We got people coming in from Josh's stream. What's up, Didi? Hello again. Adam, what's up? Good to see you guys come over. Thank you. So today I wanted to probably just talk about some of the things I bought this weekend, which is kind of stupid and silly, but maybe not because whatever. And also, hopefully I get some drawing in and stuff too because I need to draw today and I haven't yet. So I'm kind of, and it's not just stuff I bought. It's not like the thing is like, sometimes like you want to make art, you want to make stuff, you want to create, do this with music too. And sometimes I spend more time looking for stuff to buy, driving to places to buy stuff, usually having to do with my art or music. And I could, like, this weekend I could have spent way more time making art instead, but I didn't, you know. And I'm kind of frustrated with myself about that, to be honest. So, it is what it is. You're not always 100% on point, I guess. But might as well show you what I bought, some of the stuff I bought. Actually, I got some happy mail from Dee Dee herself, which is really cool. So I'll show that a little bit. And what else? What else? Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it. So, let's see. Dee Dee, thank you. I appreciate that. You're awesome. That is, I think, my second super chat ever. Another one I got from my brother-in-law, and I think he was just testing out how super chats worked. I don't think I've ever gotten another one before, so thank you, Didi. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Adam Lore says, "Dude, your Book of Enoch comic idea sounds incredible. I think it could be fun. I feel like it's gonna be. I don't know. I have to like look into the Book of Enoch again, and like really get like a clearer idea of like what I want to accomplish with it. It will be probably like a really fun, like imaginative, like just take as much liberties as I can with it type of thing, and not really a super serious thing. So it's gonna just be my own fun take. Oh, I should show that too. I mentioned it's not just a Book of Enoch, but so here we'll talk about that first. So I recently I was watching some videos about Basil Wolverton, and I thought I was just like amazed by his art. Didn't really know about him too much. But once I got to know more about him and see his art and different things he did, it was like super inspiring. Um, and so I was just really excited about that. Um, and they also, within one of the videos, they were talking about, like, they were talking about Basil Wolverton, but they also mentioned, what's his name? I can't think of his name. The guy one of the guys who illustrated the Bible. Well, actually, Basil Wolverton. Well, they were talking about, so I know Adam. You'll know right away. The guy who I can't. It's like super famous cartoonist. Um, um, for some reason, it's blocked in my mind. But Basil Wolverton illustrated Revelations. I think yes, Robert Crumb. That's right, Adam. Thank you. Um, and then Basil, I guess, illustrated Revelations or something like that, or part of Revelations, and I was like, and I guess he was actually a Christian. I don't know much about him other than that, but you know, when I saw his art, I was like, it would be kind of fun to like do more of a less serious, depiction of the Book of Enoch because there's some crazy stuff in there. You know, that kind of reminds me of Basil. So, Basil Wolverton. Um, I got some reprint books of Space Hawk, which I think is a really fun comic in the public domain from Basil Wolverton. These are Dark Horse comics, and let's see. I actually wrote some notes because I was gonna do like a full on video about Space Hawk at one point, but now I'll just do it now. So, and it's not gonna be anything like crazy, but so, anyways, Space Hawk, just really cool, like Basil Wolverton kind of stuff. I think this collects all of Space Hawk, and they were done. They were anthology pieces within a lot of times within Target Comics, I guess back in the days, and other comics too, but mostly Target Comics. And it's just like really cool. Like I don't know why, but I just really like this character design and everything. And hopefully you guys can see this. You know what? I figured out how. I asked Didi. I asked you what camera you use, and you showed me, which was really awesome. And thank you. And turns out I have the same camera, but like the older version. And it is doing auto adjust focus right now, but it seems to be kind of okay. It's not so okay with the art, but what I figured out is I just have to use. I was trying to use the Logitech program, but that didn't work on my computer for some reason. I don't know why. Um, but there's other programs you can use to control your webcam. So I figured that out. So I'm happy about that. In fact, maybe I can uh, possibly put that. Let me see if I can do something with the focus real quick, so that it doesn't jump back and forth, but maybe I need it to jump back and forth right now. When I'm drawing, I'll maybe try to play around with it. Let's see the chat real quick. Let's see. Nelly sings. How come? Oh, there we go. Now time to raid your channel. Cheers, Marsh. Cheers, dude. Thanks for coming by. Donovan, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. And Sideburns hitting me up with another super chat. Thank you. You rock, dude. Buy some art supplies or not in this case. Yeah, I know, right? This will go to help me mitigate the art supplies I already bought. Actually, tomorrow on the way home, I plan on stopping at Hobby Lobby because I have like all these like markers, like illustration markers and stuff, and they're ruined because I've stored them standing up, which you're not supposed to do. And so they're kind of ruined, and it really sucks. And I can still kind of use them a little bit, but I'm gonna eventually have to replace all of them if I want to keep doing marker stuff, which I don't do a lot of anyways. But I also have these paint markers that have not been ruined, and they're just kind of sitting here in a box, laid out, but they're not like in a good. So there's this one pretty cheap setup where you can lay your markers sideways. It's like this tiered thing, made out of, I guess, MDF board or whatever, that you can get at Hobby Lobby. It might only be online, but I'm going to check at the local Hobby Lobby tomorrow to see if I can get my hands on it. So anyway, Space Hawk, really cool. I just really love he's got a lot of cool like monster designs. This is the, black and white version, which they originally came, on newsprint in color, which I kind of wish this they reprinted it that way, but they didn't. Um, but yeah, like he just does like some really cool art, really cool like monster designs and stuff. Um, and the thing that's cool is it's public domain, so I could do my own Space Hawk if I wanted to, which is really neat. And I've thought about doing that. Um, and I don't know, I just really like his style, and I feel like because his stuff is a little bit, I think, is earlier than Crumb, might even be earlier than Mobius, and I feel like I see some of that stuff in his work. So maybe he was a big influence to both of those artists. I don't know. I just really dig it. I like this stuff, and he's got like goofy yet cool, you know, monster designs. There's this these particular issues aren't necessarily always. Some of them aren't the best, but like this is a cool panel right here. And I just like the costume design too. um but yeah, it's really fun. The stories are not supposed to be like, they're very plot heavy and stuff, and they're not very character driven at all. And then what's cool with these editions is there is other people who like more contemporary artists who did their own like Space Hawk comics like shorts in here as well. So they added to the old stuff, you know, new artists, one interpretations of the character. So this one's Space Hawk versus the Bats of Venus, which is actually that's another one of his stories in a different series called Brain Bats of Venus, which is cool that they included it. This is somebody else's version of this, and it's actually not that far away from Basil's style, which is kind of cool. But I like these Brain Bat whole idea. I mean, I don't have that story in particular, but if you go to comicbookplus.com, you can find most of Basil's work. Because he's from before, kind of from a long time ago. But you could see like they're like these bats, I guess, that fly around, but they're brains, and they attach kind of like a parasite, like aliens or something. They attach to people's heads and take control of them, and it's just like that fun, imaginative sci-fi. Here's a cool like I don't know. Brain eyes. Oh man. So I don't know. I just love this stuff. And I think it's super fun. And yeah. So, Space Hawk, I'll just kind of quickly here's some cool wonky space creature guys, monsters, whatever. Let's see. Let's see if I could find some more fun things just kind of quickly. Here we go. That's like my favorite thing is like the different creatures he comes up with, Space Hawk and the Vulture Men from the Void. I mean, this stuff is nothing but fun to me. Oh, here's like an actual that's probably, I'm assuming, from a photo or something of the moon that they put in there, which is cool. And then these guys, another creature that he invented for the comic. So, you know what it makes me think of too, and Adam, you'll appreciate this, is it makes me think about doing some more hitchhiker stories. That was the comic I did in the first 100 Days of Making Comics anthology. And I've actually been thinking a little bit about that lately, which it's been a while. So who's did this one? I don't know. Kind of looks like Sergio Aragonés a little bit, but not a lot. Just a little bit. But yeah. So let's see what else we got. That's cool. So also Basil Wolverton did this page is really cool. He did he did stuff in Mad Magazine and stuff. And he has he draws really cool ugly people and he has some I don't know like he was well known I guess for there was I think the Times magazine there was a contest I guess for drawing the ugliest woman alive or something, which is kind of messed up, but at the same time it was a cool illustration. And he won it. And it's just this, you can look it up online, you'll find it. If you look up Basil Wolverton, you're bound to come across it. Yeah, these kind of dinosaur monsters are cool. Trying to get that focus in there. Really cool details and textures and stuff. So he's known for that, and he does. There's all these kind of surreal drawings and stuff that he did, for different things, and yeah, I don't know. I just think he's just another one of those classic, really imaginative, artists. This is pretty cool. Again, somebody doing their take on Space Hawk. So by Space Hedden and Space McQueenie. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I mostly want to show you, Basil's work specifically. So this is the last one. Yeah, so I got these on I think. Oh no, there's this website where you can buy comics, and it's specifically for comics. And I only bought these ever from there, but I forget what it's called. You guys probably know what it's called, but so yeah, I don't know. I really dig his stuff, and I'm glad that it's public domain, so I can mess around with it if I feel like it. But there's a lot of really interesting stuff in the public domain that's worth exploring, enjoying, and also putting your own take on it. So this character is kind of crazy. This monstrosity. The stories are certainly dated. A lot of them, some of them kind of don't hold up very well, but it is what it is. I like old stuff anyways, even if it doesn't hold up, it's there's a charm to it. Oh, this is a cool kind of splash page type situation. That's neat. So yeah, Space Hawk. Oh, there's another one too, but well, if you want to look up this stuff, again, these are by Dark Horse. You could probably find them pretty cheap. Somewhere in a dollar bin or something. I wouldn't be surprised. This is actually an example of some of his other more mad magazine. Trying to get that focus in there. There we go. Look at all those detailed hair. That's insane. Who? Oh my gosh. So yeah, he did all these caricatures too, which are really cool. So, and you can see kind of, I feel like the R. Crumb influence or R. Crumb influencing him, or him influencing R. Crumb maybe from some of that stuff too. So, cool stuff. Cool stuff. So let's check out the chat for a little bit. Yes, please, Marsh Enoch. Yeah, I mean, I may get into it. We'll see. Let's see. Crumb did an illustrated version of the Book of Genesis. That's right. Yeah, yeah. And I haven't read it. I should. There's a lot of stuff I should read. Actually, you know what? I'll pull this out too. Since you're here, Adam, from your suggestion on YouTube, I bought this and I read it. Daniel Clowes, Death Ray. And you know what? I kind of liked it. I liked it a lot. At first, I was loving it. Like, I was just like, whoa. And sorry, my camera's not like high enough to like get the whole page right now. But, um, you know, at first I was loving it. And in the end, I liked it, but it's kind of depressing to be honest. I feel like that's probably, and I don't know. I'm just speaking out of total ignorance, but I feel like that's probably what most of Dan Klaus's stuff is. It's like thought provoking, interesting, and maybe a little bit like there's a pessimism that maybe doesn't make me feel too nice after reading it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different kind of expression. But the idea behind this, like a kid who smokes cigarettes and it gives him superpowers, like to kind of beat his bullies up and stuff and stuff. And it's an interesting commentary on like justice and kind of the vigilante idea of vigilantism or whatever. There's a cool page. And the art is interesting. Definitely nothing I would have been anywhere near interested in as a kid reading Image Comics, but now I can appreciate it, type of thing. Um, so it's just definitely pretty cool. I do like how sometimes like artists like this kind of play with like different styles a little bit within their comic and everything. And I know these were like published like um you know these were published in I can't remember the comic he did that has like it's like anthology basically. So yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. It's definitely good storytelling. That's for sure. And it's just yeah, it shows kind of almost reality to a certain extent of like what people would do if they had the power of being a vigilante type of thing and they had certain powers and you know what one person might do at least. And yeah, it was very interesting. Like I'm really glad I read it. And it was a relatively like fast-paced read. Like I wanted to read more and stuff, so I enjoyed it. But at the same time, there's a little bit of me that's like, oh man, you know, maybe slightly disturbed, but very slightly, not like in a really bad way. Definitely interesting, and I'm glad I read it. So thank you for the suggestion. I would probably be cool with checking out more of his work at some point. Like I said, it was a you know a, like a good paced read where it made me want to read more, and that I don't always get in comics, which I'm really happy about that kind of effect. And there's definitely a lot to learn, from that kind of stuff about storytelling. And just the idea of it is like, I think it's interesting, like how an idea can really, like move a comic forward. Cause I'm used to like this whole like superheroes punching each other thing, which is not great story. This at least was good story. This was good story. It would be interesting to see it. I know he's had a few of his comics turn into movies. It'd be interesting to see this translated into a movie. I'd be down for checking that out. In fact, I don't even know if I've seen Art School Confidential or Ghost World, and I feel like he's had another movie or maybe more than another movie, but those two I haven't seen, which I know they're super. I actually I do want to see them. Maybe I'll watch them tonight. Who knows? Because I was thinking about watching a movie like before I go to bed or whatever. So I don't know. It's not a bad idea. So, anyways, um, so what happened? Well, let me finish going through the chat, and then I'll talk more about buying art supplies. It's not even art supplies; it's just comics too. Just buying things and focusing on that instead of making things. Which there's nothing wrong with consuming. Like that's why I mean, in a lot of ways, consuming is what feeds the making, but you can get so caught up in the consuming that you lose sight and don't be as productive. And I would say that's definitely how this past weekend has gone for me, which is, it's frustrating, and it's like me disappointing myself, and it's just the reality of it. Sometimes that happens. So hopefully it won't happen as often. Maybe I'll learn my lesson. Who knows? Um, Someone illustrated Cain and Abel, Chrisic Strings. How you doing, man? Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's definitely a dramatic event that kind of could lend towards some good story. Um, the Action Bible is a comic, graphic novel, illustrated Bible. Yeah, I've seen that in stores before. It looks interesting. It looks like a cool way to read the Bible as a kid, or as an adult. But okay. Dee Dee says she uses the Logitech software. Okay, it didn't work with my computer for some reason. I don't know why, but luckily there's other apps that can do that. So that's good. Uh, let's see. What are you coloring, Marsh? What am I coloring? Why do you say that? Oh, is it because I was talking about markers and stuff? Illustration markers? I'm not quite sure where you're coming from with that, Frank, but thanks for coming by and hanging out. Let the stalking begin. uh, Adam says Wolverton was a huge influence on Crumb and the Ren and Stimpy artists. Oh, okay. I mean, I definitely see the Crumb. I could see the Ren and Stimpy, yeah, stuff as well for sure. I feel like I do feel like Mobius might have been inspired too, because like there's that. The thing with Mobius that I think is interesting is it's like he does like when I think of Mobius, I think of like sparse landscapes and really interesting design, and then all those little tick mark, lines he does, which I saw some of that. I feel like in Wolverton's stuff as well. Space Hawk is public domain. Cool. Is the Shadow public domain yet? I would think so because the shadow. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. The Shadow came out, I think, way before Space Hawk, probably originally. Because like I'm pretty sure like the pulp like novels and the radio shows and stuff are basically what inspired most of the earliest comics. So that's why I think that the Shadow, probably came before. And if it came before, then it should definitely be in the public domain. But maybe because it kept being published, you know, for a very long time, maybe because it didn't stop being published, maybe it's not in the public domain. I don't really know. Let's see. There are some early Buck Rogers comics that look a lot like Wolverton. Okay. Well, I know that when he made Space Hawk, apparently that I think he was commissioned to do something that, and I could be wrong, but I think this is what I heard, that he was commissioned to do something that mimicked Flash Gordon, I want to say. Um, but I could be wrong, or maybe it was Buck Rogers. I don't even. I'm not that familiar with Buck Rogers really, so I don't know if that's like um, a western or if that's like a space thing or what. Oh, sometimes I click on stuff without even reading it. Listening while I draw. Thanks, dude. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. I mean, that's what I do too, except for with Josh's video, I was cleaning up my studio and eating. And now my studio is clean and I'm streaming and hopefully going to draw soon too. He's drawing upon Frank R. Paul, it looks like, assuming Paul is earlier. That I don't know anything about. Yes, you mentioned Enoch, and I could have sworn the hitchhiker had some Enoch Nephilim connection somehow. You had said too. Well, I've been playing with those Nephilim, fallen angel, all that kind of stuff in my mind for a long time, and was thinking of introducing it in almost every comic I've made, and yet have yet to. So you wouldn't be wrong. Let's see. Do. I think the ugliest woman contest was for Little Abner and used as a Time or Life magazine parody later in Mad. Okay, yeah, I don't know exactly how it went down, but I do remember them mentioning Little Abner as well. So yeah, I miss Mad. Such cool parodies and art. A lot of great artists worked on Mad. I'm definitely a huge Sergio Aragonis fan. He obviously did stuff. I saw this thing. Where did I see it? I saw something somewhere where it was like it might have been at one of the flea market I went to or something, or I saw it online. It might have been online. The Spy versus Spy thing, and it was like a collection of Spy versus Spy stories, but they weren't the Spy versus Spy that we all know and love from Mad, and they looked like they were way earlier, and it was something maybe that Spy versus Spy from Mad was maybe it was like them using a public domain thing, or I don't really know, but I saw something weird that was Spy versus Spy, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. It was like looking at like the Ghostbusters comic that isn't the Ghostbusters we know. I was like, what is that? And I didn't at the time, I didn't really have time to really look into it. So I'm curious about that. Just checking through the thing. Do do do. Oh, okay. So Adam's talking about the death ray. I think thematically that is a good one for you, but not one of his best books. Yeah, it is because it's got the superhero thing. It was right up my. If there's any that are right up my alley, probably that one. Um, but I found it to be kind of boring, honestly. There's parts that are a little boring, I guess, but I enjoyed the journey. I just didn't like where the journey took me eventually. Um, that's really what it is, and it's not because the story wasn't good or wasn't told well. It's just I just want to feel, I don't want to feel kind of gross after I read something. And I think there's a purpose for that. And some people do really like kind of to get to an end of something and get that kind of effect. But it's just not my favorite kind of thing. Like I like fun, I like stuff that's thought provoking, but doesn't leave me with whatever that feeling was. I don't know how to explain what that feeling was. But the fact that I'll always remember that story is pretty powerful in and of itself, and I think I will. The cover is cool. Yeah, I thought the cover was cool too. Gary, I think I have a similar reaction to Klaus. Yeah, I mean that's my first and only book I've read of his, but I have a feeling. I just have a feeling that that's what I'm going to get more of. That kind of feeling as I read more. But I'll give some more shots, another shot to his stuff. Eight Ball is the anthology. Yes, that's what I was trying to think of. I think that one was just published all as one thing. At some point, he stopped serializing his stuff. Um, I feel like I saw a video where they were talking about Eight Ball and Death Ray was in it, but I could be wrong. Do Ghost World and Art School Confidential are great films. The other adaptation was Wilson, and that was pretty terrible. Okay. Um, yeah. Oh, the same guy that did the Crumb documentary did Ghost World. Okay, that makes sense. It's kind of, yeah, the same sensibilities and stuff. If you learn cartooning in the Ren and Stimpy style, they teach Wolverton as an example of how to use detail in the right places without it looking messy. That is very interesting and makes me want to look at those comics again to see that specific thing. Um, According to Google, what's up, Nathan? How you doing? The Shadow should go into public domain in 2027. Okay, alrighty. Ren and Stimpy, Powdered Toast Man, log, log, log. It's better than bad. It's good. Yes. Read some Michael. Oh my gosh, Dee Dee, I freaking love you. The fact that you brought up Michael S. Heiser, like I freaking love Michael S. Heiser. I have read Unseen Realm probably two or three times. And I followed a lot of his podcasts, and I'm so happy to hear that you know about Michael S. Heiser because he's freaking the bomb, in my opinion. I think he's got like yeah, I don't know. He's cool because he takes seriously certain things, but he's also very realistic, and he just seems really smart in what he knows, and what he's into, and he brings the approach of, well, these are, I'm not throwing away all the crazy ideas, and this is what it actually means, when you really look at it from a scholarly approach. And this is what we probably can take from it and what we probably can't take from it. And then I also love that he goes to like UFO conventions and talks to people and has these conversations and stuff. Like such an interesting dude. Um, The Shadow, Alec Baldwin, he should know about gun safety on movie sets. There's probably something I should know about that, but I don't. That's like it has been in the news. I think technically Death Ray all as one book is an issue of Eight Ball. Oh, okay. Well, you would know more than I would, that's for sure. Yes, he is very smart. I agree. And it gave me listening to Michael S. Heiser's stuff. Um, that's what brought me to realize that how important scholarly work is within um, biblical studies and all kinds of studies, really, and I mean, I already had a respect for it, but sometimes I was a little bit critical towards it. But now I'm like, okay, I see how these things are actually really important, and it's pretty darn cool that there are people who study just one tiny aspect of the Bible for like their whole life. Like, so it just, to me, it solidifies that our knowledge of like what we know about the Bible, up as opposed to people saying things like, well, that's just your interpretation, or there's so many interpretations of the Bible. It makes me feel more solid in the fact that, well, there are things we know. There's a lot we don't know as well. But, don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater type of thing. So, anyways, there's so much that I could talk about in that realm. So since Dee Dee's talking a little bit, let's see what happy mail she sent me. And oh, when I didn't plan for this like I wanted to, but you know what? Let me see if I can quickly find something real quick. You guys talk amongst yourself. I'll be back in like 5 seconds, and you'll probably hear me shuffling around. All right, not easily accessible, unfortunately. I know I put it somewhere, and it's frustrating that I can't find what I'm looking for. But, anyways, I'll have to show you guys another time. But Dee Dee sent me some happy mail a long time ago. I still owe her some happy mail, and I'm definitely gonna send something. But she sent me something the other day. Yeah, it came early, actually. Yeah, it came Saturday. Nellie says I'm smart. Hey, thanks. I don't know about that, but I'll take it. So this is what this is what Dee Dee sent me. And I wanted to show you. So she did a portrait of me when she sent me Happy Mail last time, and it's really cool. And I wanted to show you that, but I didn't. Yeah, and I already opened it. I didn't. I was too impatient. I wanted to see what you sent. But yeah, she sent me this book, which is really cool. Like what they don't teach in art school. I need to put this up higher so I can. I think I can put it a little bit higher pretty easily here. Hold on, you're gonna shake around a little bit, guys. That's a little bit better. Do do do. That's a little bit better. Um, so I didn't even know that this book existed. I think it probably came out um, sometime when I was not paying attention to comic stuff. Um, but Will Terry, I don't know if you guys know. Well, a lot of you probably do. Will Terry, Jake Parker, and I always forget the third guy's name, but they do this school called SVES, I think it's called. And I was doing SVS for a little while and taking classes there, and it was pretty cool in its earlier conception. And I learned a lot. And Will Terry is great. I love his art. And I mean, what a cool book. What they don't teach in art school: an illustrator's guide to making money in the real world. And then on the back, I like what it says: you are an artist, you love to create, you want to be able to make money with your art. This book will help you make the changes necessary and give you the knowledge to earn a living with your art. So I mean, it's very, you know basic description of what this is. you know and so I mean, I mean, what you could tell that Dee Dee has watched some of my shows because I talk about this kind of thing all the time. So, and then she put this little enjoy thing. So thank you, Dee Dee, for the note. And there's this other little picture thing in here too. I think because it was a Kickstarter apparently. So I don't know if this is actually Will Terry's signature, but it looks like it probably is. So that's cool too with this little kind of art print. So, but yeah, this is, it's a cool little book, and I'm looking forward to digging into it and reading it. Um, you know, it's got a lot of Will Terry's art in it, but it's a book to kind of teach you some things that you might not have thought about, or the realities of becoming, a illustrator who makes a living off of their art. Online school versus art school, which is pretty cool. I mean, it might be a little bit of by the way, you should check out SPS. We have our own art school. Structure your life to inspire your art. You must sacrifice for your art. I mean, just the headlines alone is pretty cool and interesting. Craftsman versus creator. This stuff looks like it's going to have some pretty cool insights, and then there's these parts in the back, I guess. I haven't read it yet. I just got it, But managing money as an illustrator, don't we all need to know that? any of us who wants to make some kind of career. Now, everybody might not want to make a career, out of art, but it's something I do want to do. So, and then they have these artists lessons from working professional artists, and there's these little profiles, I guess, with I guess an interview type of thing or something, and some other approaches and thoughts on the matter. So this is a really cool book. This is perfect, for me, and I really appreciate you sending this, Dee Dee. That was really cool. So let's check out the chat. Do 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 do. Yeah, the portrait. Yeah, it's probably on IG, on your IG. It probably was on my IG at some point, but I've had two IGs since then because Facebook doesn't like me. Marsh, did you know there's 5, not 4 horsemen, and not Trinity, but 4? But 4, I have the scriptures for it. Not a Trinity, but there's 4. Hey, man, I mean, I've never heard that either of those things before, but I don't know. From what I've read, that would not be correct, but I could be wrong. I guess, I don't know. I'm not here to like. I'm definitely not here to debate theology things, and the mystery of the Trinity is a bit of a mystery to a certain extent. But there's things we can know as well. Um, EJB, how you doing? Yes, happy mail. I love that. And it's kind of funny. On Josh's channel, we were talking about the comic community and how our little group here tends to be pretty cool community. There's a lot less fighting and stuff generally, um, than some other comic communities. And Dee Dee has a community as well, like that she's involved with her, the people who they do their art journals and just art in general. And I think that's a really cool community. I've been following some of the YouTuber creators in her community and checking in, and I learn a lot actually from Dee Dee's art community. You guys should definitely check out Dee Dee's channel. I need to like have mods like other people do, because then they could help me like put links and stuff. But I'm gonna find Dee Dee's channel and put a link in the description for you guys to check her. She does videos every Monday and Wednesday, if I'm correct. I think that's true, right, Dee Dee? And I really enjoy them, and they're just like nice, like long live streams. So if you have the time, you could sit there and draw and maybe get a few like pointers and stuff. Or she's always sharing really cool, fun stuff. And man, I just learned so much because I'm interested in like mixed media and all kinds of different ways of doing things. And when you listen to comic channels, they're awesome. I love them. I listen and watch so many of them. It's insane. But um, you know, a lot of times you'll hear about digital versus traditional and inking and penciling and coloring. But they're relatively using the same mediums. But comics don't have to be made that way, and I'm interested in experimenting, with different mediums and everything. So uh that's one thing that's really cool about Dee Dee's channel. And then also she's always doing like little giveaways, and I'm thinking about introducing that into my live streams as well, because I think it would be fun. In fact, I'll show you guys something. This is really cool, and this is not something I bought this weekend, but this is something I got recently, but I have had for a long time. But I didn't realize I had that. I thought I threw away my old copy, so I bought it again. So I have two of these, and so this will be, I think, a giveaway on the stream. In fact, if you guys are interested, I could probably do a giveaway tonight. Um, I wasn't planning on doing that, but now that I'm talking about it, might be kind of cool. So this is a really cool book, 99 Ways to Tell a Story, Exercises in Style by Matt Madden. And I don't know much about Matt Madden, but I did look him up. And apparently he's a comic book creator, and kind of probably in the same like group of type of creators as like a Daniel Klaus or something like that. Like from what I gather, it seems like that's what's going on. An exploration of storytelling that will amuse and delight you and inspire your own creativity, your own creative work, your novel, your comic, even your film, which is interesting. So this is a really cool book. So what it is it's one story. Um, let's see, see if I plan to do this. I may do like a full video just of this at some point. Not going through the whole thing, but I would have like post-it notes or something to show the exact thing I want to show. But basically this is the template. It's one story. Every single page is the same story. So a guy's sitting here at his computer, closes his laptop, walks through the door, uh, goes, I guess, down, or he's down here, and he's like, there's stairs here, and it's like somebody yells, "What time is it?" He says, "It's 1:15." Looks at his watch, says it's 1:15. And then the person says, "Thanks." He opens the refrigerator door, looks in the refrigerator, and says, "What the hell was I looking for anyway?" So that's the story. And it's repeated 99 times in different ways. So this is like the monologue version where it's just like a talking head situation. This is subjective. So you're seeing it from his eye view, and like there's so many creative ways. This one's from the other person who says, "What time is it?" It's 1:15. Thanks. Like upstairs, who knew that the person was upstairs drawing comics? Like refrigerator with a view. So this one's all from the view of the refrigerator. So I mean there's just so many. Here's a one panel version of that comic. Like so many different ways. A humor comic version. Like you can literally like it sparks your creativity. For one, I feel like it sparks your creativity, and for two, it's like if you get stuck on a comic idea, go through this and it'll maybe give you a different way of thinking about a way to approach your comic. This one's a war exercise. So he does it like as if it's a war. The previous one, here's the manga version of it, like there's so many cool things. Political cartoon. Like, I mean, these are really cool. I have to find there's some color ones too, not many, but there's like a Kirby version of it too. This one's like as if it were I don't know how to say that, Bayeux tapestry, like discovered, like speaking about archaeology and stuff, like um exercise and style. This one's like almost if it was like an ad, I guess, in a comic. He does like this. Here's the superhero version, I want to find the Kirby one. This one is if it was a map. Like really? Like I mean, how awesome is it? It's just so weird and interesting, some of the different versions. There's 99 of these. Like I just want to see if I can. Oh, here's like a George Harriman, like Crazy Cat style. And he does. Oh, here's the Kirby one. An homage to Kirby. I mean, how cool is that? Like, so that's what this is. 99 ways to tell a story, exercises in style. So if anybody's interested, I have 2 copies, and I'll be happy at the end of the show to do a giveaway, and we'll do it randomly. I'll try to do it like Dee Dee does it. See if I can pull it off. I think she goes to like random.com or something. I don't know. I forgot where it is, and it'll just be picking a number. We'll do it as a test, my first giveaway, and see how it works. Nice, Will Terry. I'm sub to his channel. Yeah, he's great, man. And thanks for stopping in, Paulus Arts. Let's see. Crimson Owl, how you doing, brother? Glad to see you in here, Ronnie. Hope all is well. Let's see. Nice book. Yes, it is his signature, she says. Oh, wow. That's sweet. You're nice, TD. You're in my prayer list now. That's awesome. Hey, that's one thing that's interesting is like, man, like when I was first getting into like the comic world and stuff, like, or just anytime I've been involved with any art world or whatever, so often Christianity and faith is like taboo and almost and ridiculed. But it's kind of interesting, I have people who are not of faith and are of faith, in the audience often, and they all seem to get along. It all seems to be pretty cool. And it's kind of cool too that just putting my faith out there a little bit here and there, not being too crazy about it, but just, it attracts others who are also, of the faith. And that's also nice as well. So, anyways, another reason why the community is really cool. Let's see. Dee Dee says you're welcome. Yes, only positive vibes from Dee Dee and the FIBs. What's FIBs mean? That's probably, is that the community that you guys are in, Dee Dee and everyone? Dee Dee's streams are like a pure dose of positivity and stress relief. Oh man, I agree, man. When I listen to or watch, well, I'm working because she does it when I'm at work, and so I have to just kind of listen, and every once in a while I'll peek at my phone and see what she's showing off and stuff, and you know, yeah, I just it's like going to your creative aunt's house and like talking to her about art or something. Like it's just fun. Like it's nothing but good feelings, which is really cool. And yeah, I agree. Same thing. Dee Dee's collage ideas is and stuff is really inspiring. Totally, totally. All right. Hopefully that link is clickable. I think it was. Marsh just looked book of Acts, and then Exodus 23. I'll have to here. Let me write that down. Where's the one thing I cleaned my thingy and now, but I don't. Oh, here it is. Okay. The one thing I don't have like super accessible necessarily is just a pen and paper, right? Like just a regular pen, which is what I'm looking for. I do have paper, but I'll just have to use a fancy pen to write down these scriptures. Oh man, like this is not the pen I want to use. Let me see. Here's a regular Sharpie at least. So we got what? Acts 7. Because I am curious like where you're getting this from. But again, I'm not gonna be sitting here digging into scriptures. That's not what this channel is about, even though I love talking about that stuff. Good vibes and therapy. Yeah, I feel you, man. Same for Dee Dee's videos. I don't do sequential art, so I enjoy watching you guys too. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's kind of funny, even though you have been doing some comic-esque work with the Barbies and stuff. Like I said on the chat, like I was like, I think I lost my dude card watching this. But honestly, it's fun, and it's really cool how, I mean, that is totally comics. There's other, in fact, in this 99 ways thing, I'm pretty sure there's definitely an example of them like taking pictures of people just kind of sitting and like acting it out. And that, I mean, it has been used in the comic format. I've seen in the past too, in different situations, but it'd be cool if I could quickly find it, but I probably won't be able to find it quickly. So, oh, this one's kind of neat. The Scott McCloud one, the exercises enclosure after Scott McCloud. So it's like kind of understanding comics, the moment to moment, action to action, subject to subject, scene to scene, aspect to aspect, non sequitur. If you ever read Understanding Comics, you'll get that. But yeah, anyways, setting up a photo. Here it is, the photo comic. So that's pretty cool. Apparently, he probably, yeah, it looks like he used his. I wouldn't be surprised if he just, yeah, because the first one is literally, it's like he just drew from these photos that he made, like the first example version. So there's that. And if you look at that, it's like the same exact thing in the same house and everything. Like, so that's interesting. I didn't catch that before, but it's almost like the same exact thing. So that's cool. Um, so yeah, the Barbie scenes is great, even though, you know, I might have lost my dude card, but I think I have enough dudeness left. Let's see. So yeah, it's kind of cool because like that's the thing is like just because you're an artist of like one style medium kind of community, it doesn't mean that art from other communities can't be informative as well. Like I mean, like I said, I got into the designer toy community for a while there, and I mean, I started carving up sculptures to make into toys, and I did that, and it was fun. And it's like everything can become part of what you do, and like now if I wanted to, I could probably carve one of my characters up from clay and then use that as reference or whatever, for my comics or something. I haven't gone to that extent, but I could. There's if you look at, I have this book about Chris Ware. One day I'll show it. I'll probably show it off, but it's huge. It's like the size of this desk. So I'm gonna have to like really get the camera in a certain position to show it. But and it was actually pretty cheap, but it goes through. Actually, I probably don't have to do a video of it because cartoonist kayfabe did an amazing job, and I don't really need to go through it. You could just watch theirs, but it's a Chris Ware book, and it just shows off like pretty much his career so far worth of art, and it's even got like mini comics embedded in it. So it shows his comic work, but he's done so much more than just comic work, and he does like sculpture type things and woodworking and all this. It all works together. You can use it all in whatever it is you're making. So I think it's neat. I think it's so neat that Dee Dee comes, and I see her in all these comic chats. And I feel like I like to go see what her community is doing. Yes, it is my version of a comic. I mean, I'm surprised you had with watching all these videos though, Dee Dee. I'm surprised you haven't done done a comic before. Um, but you've done the zines and stuff, right? Like a few times, I think, or maybe a bunch of times you've done zines. And that's kind of like comics anyways, like especially if you're doing art with them. Um, there's a lot of things that are kind of like comics, you know, but there's something cool. That's why I feel like I need to find a comic project to work on right now because when I just do one-off illustrations, they're kind of fun sometimes, but I feel like there's less purpose behind them, and I'm not like trying to disparage the illustration world at all. Like, I just, for me, I have a hard time like being happy with just that, and maybe it's because I've made comics. I don't know. I don't really know, but it's just like I need to tell a story. I think it's just the need to want to tell stories for some reason. I don't know what that is, but something in me wants to do that, I guess. And you can with an illustration. You can totally tell a story, and honestly, I think most good illustrators really do, with one image tell a story. Um but for some reason it's like I can only do that so much where I it's like every panel actually is a single illustration too. So it's like I don't know what it is. It's me just trying to figure out my artsy fartsiness, I guess. Let's see. Cool book marsh. Yeah, I think it's really neat. And I think other people might enjoy it as well. Um, are you on IG, Nelly? I'd like to see that too if you are. Toot, toot, toot. That's a very unique book. Thanks for mentioning it. I love finding about different art books. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I have to give a shout out to Fue Storm, also known as Lucifer Storm. Um, he's the one who told me about it and showed me it, and it's freaking dope. I love it. Looks like Nelly's not on IG, so that's all right. You don't have to be a social media person. Thanks for hanging out on YouTube, though. Everyone is welcome to my channel. I love it. Same here. Okay. Fibs is friends in the box. Oh, I like that. That's good. Who came up with that? That's a good one. I like that. Friends in the box. That's cool. All artists are like that, no pen or paper when needed. Cool. Let's see. Made sure I got the dude card back. Yeah, I totally. There's a word for photo comics like that. Can't remember what it's called. I'm sure there is. I know Kirby experimented with putting photos in comics. A lot of people have at different times experimented with that. Sometimes called fumetti. I never heard of that, but that's interesting. They used to do those in Wizard magazine with posed action figures. Oh, I slightly remember that, but I think I remember it from a kayfabe episode because there was a certain point where I stopped reading Wizard magazine, and I might have been out by then. I have that Chris Ware book, Marsh. Yeah, yeah. It was kind of cool because it's like so huge. There's so much in it. It's like a deluxe book, and it was only like $30 or something on Amazon. It still is. It's like super cheap. I'm like, how? Because when I thought it was going to be a smaller book, and then when I got it, I'm like, how is this only $30? I bought other books that are this big, and they're not $30. They were like 60 or 70, or I don't know. There was a time where I was buying like I have that's another one I have to show you guys at some point. That is, I'm looking at it right now, and it's on top of the Chris Ware book, and it's only like a half inch shorter than the Chris Ware book. And it's huge, and it's Little Nemo. And it's just all these huge Little Nemo pages, and we got to go through that sometime because that's really cool. Um, let's see. Yeah, it is. I like what she's doing with the Barbie comics and stuff. And you can see on her Instagram if you're interested. It's funny. I haven't even talked about part of what I wanted to talk about. I went to like flea markets and stuff. Wait, I went to two flea markets this weekend, and I actually saw some Barbie stuff, and I was like, I almost want to get that and send it to Dee Dee, but it wasn't like anything significantly interesting. Um, so I didn't end up getting it, but yeah. It is time consuming. Yes, I do some zines, but books are too time consuming, and I do so many other things: portraits, collage art, journals. Yeah, totally. I mean, we just pick what we want to do and what we have time for sure. I tell stories with collage. I mean, yeah, you showed that. I don't know if I was watching an older video. I think I was watching an older video where you were showing the Edgar Allan Poe journal you did, and that was almost like a story. I feel like I mean, or like a, I don't know, like a documentation of poish things. It was really cool though. And yeah, collage is another thing I really want to try, but I'm like, I want to kind of incorporate it into comics. Something that's really cool actually is I saw at a comic convention recently. There's this guy who takes old comics that aren't really worth anything or whatever, and he makes collages out of them, and they're amazing. They're like really cool. Like he'll take a specific subject matter, like just Kirby stuff, and he'll make like, which, you know some people might cringe at cutting up a Kirby comic, but if you have doubles, why not? I don't know. The result was really cool. Um, but there are some that aren't really worth much or whatever. But anyways, I'm sure he wasn't like cutting up Fantastic Four #1 or anything. um, but and maybe they were reprints. But anyways, he did that for so many other things, and there was like really cool like color theory going on. Like he specifically took certain colors in some of them, and like sometimes they're a focus on a certain artist, sometimes they're a focus on a certain character. Really cool stuff, these collages. And I've seen my cousin does some collage artwork, and she's kind of who introduced me to that a little bit. And yeah, I'm like very interested in the collage stuff. I bought this. I'll actually ask you right now because I know I asked on the stream, like I think you guys said you use matte medium to like glue down all the stuff, but I got this, but I don't know if it's probably not the right thing because I think you use like actual paint matte medium, but I think this can do it too. But this was cheaper, so that's why I got it. But it says it works as like a glue and a finisher and a water-based sealer. So hopefully this will do the trick. I haven't experimented with it yet, though. Yes, I haven't experimented with it yet, though. What? Maybe it's getting too late for me to talk. Let's see. Um, but I love comics in the process, so I watch you guys. Awesome. One of the peeps from my channel came up with fibs. Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to be selective of some of the comments so that yes, just stuff that I don't need to put in. Frank's back. After this, we're all going to Dee Dee's channel to check it out. Yeah, I mean, you can go now just to like, you don't have to get off the video. You can just check out it because she's not going to stream. She streams on Monday and Wednesday during the morning. So, check her out tomorrow morning. I'm going to be there. um, so, yeah, the Fumetti stuff was later in the Wizard magazine, later days. Totally. Do. Just going through the chat a little bit. I'm going to go. I have more stuff to show you guys. I might have to do the thing if I start getting too many comments. I might have to, first of all, get a moderator going, which I've never done before, and then also, I might have to do the thing where I say, like Dee Dee says, put everything. If you want me to respond, put it in all caps, because it might be hard to keep up with. Yeah, Marsha, I have a playlist pretty organized. You can find my collages there. Oh, yes, I will do that because I often look through for people's playlists, but a lot of people don't actually make them. So, I didn't think to do that, but I'll have to check out the collages one specifically. Let's see. Jesus Marquez, I can relate to wanting to tell stories more than doing illustrations. I have mostly been doing sketch cards for a while now, and it doesn't scratch that itch that the way sequential storytelling does. Yeah, exactly. That's something about that. I don't know what it is, but I think, that's kind of how I feel too. And thank you for hanging out, Jesus. Do, 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 do. I've done a couple collages for album covers. That's cool. I'd like to see those. Do do do. I copied an old issue of Daredevil and decoupaged my coffee table. What's up, Jameson? Thanks for hanging out. That sounds really cool, and I'd like to see that too. That's awesome. Oh, you use golden matte medium. Okay. Yeah. The only thing I have that's golden, where is it? Is this. I just got white paint. I don't know if I can afford too many golden paints, but I might jump for the matte medium if it works good. Do 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 do. Awesome. Looking forward. Okay, thanks. All right, I'm caught up. I'm caught up, guys. I'm caught up. All right, so I'll get into what happened this weekend. So I got art supplies, and currently my that's what I did today actually on my way home back from what I was doing before that. And I got these two things, two watercolor sketchbooks, and I'm kind of disappointed because I didn't mean to get two watercolor sketchbooks. I thought one of them was a toned paper sketchbook. And I apparently wasn't paying much attention to what I was buying. I also got, and again, it's like instead of going to the store, I could have just come home and made art, which I'm glad I got this stuff though. Oh man, I got another thing that's wrong. I got I meant to get three number 10 white jelly rolls because these I've had these before and they're just not opaque enough usually, but the number 10s are bigger and they flow out more ink, and so they're really good actually. The 8s are okay. The other ones are too small. They just really don't do the trick for me. But the tens are probably the good ones, and so I'm going to stick to tens from now on. And I can't believe that I made another mistake in purchasing today. I just was not like I told you guys before. I was kind of tired today, so I feel better now though. What else did I buy? I didn't buy much. I just kind of I got like a kneaded eraser, which I needed. um, and I don't know what happened to all my kneaded erasers, but I don't have any anymore. So I got one. And what else? Anything else? I don't know. It wasn't really super important what I got at the art store. Oh yeah, this. I got this guy because it's good for kind of sharpening pencil tips and stuff without too much waste. I feel like because I have this too. I bought this the other day, Prismacolor, or just regular, pencil sharpener thing. And they're good, but I feel like you waste a lot of the pencil when you sharpen it that way. So I'm hoping this will, you know, prevent from some waste. So, you know, and what I did yesterday, I was looking for flea markets and art galleries. Actually, where I moved to, I have some art galleries and stuff, but none of them were really open. And when I went, and then I went to this place I didn't realize because I wanted to go to flea markets yesterday just to look for not comics, but just like odds and ends, like things to do collages with and things like that. And I found some stuff, but I didn't buy it because it was a little more expensive, and I already had a bunch of stuff in my hands, and it just didn't work out the way I planned because I ended up buying a bunch of comics at the flea markets instead. Because I'm a sucker for digging through old comic boxes and dollar bins and things like that. So I didn't even get what I wanted to get at flea markets. But to be honest, there wasn't really a lot to offer at the ones I went to. But I was just looking for funky stuff that I could do like mixed media art with, and it ended up taking a long time. I didn't even get to any art yesterday, which actually messes up my streak of working on art every day for the last couple of weeks. So that's disappointing. Um, but I did get some cool comics, some stuff that's like most people think is crap, but I like it, so who cares? So let's go through some of those. So this is one that I got. I didn't realize that this is a three-parter, which is Dark Knight 2. And a lot of people hated this book, because it wasn't like, the original Dark Knight by Frank Miller. It's like this weird version, but to me it's like way abstract and like crazy, like I don't know, like the art and the coloring is like that early, digital coloring that they did in the 90s when they were trying to figure it out, and it's not super great, but at the same time I kind of like it. I actually like it a lot, and I thought there was only one book of this, and I bought the first one. um, but I found out that it's actually a three-parter, which I did not know. And yeah, I really I just like Frank Miller's art in every way he does his art. I like his Sin City art. I like his DK1 art. I like this stuff. Like he's always got energy and good storytelling in his panels, and um, like just experimental stuff going on, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was actually really happy to find this book, even though and the coloring is crazy, but I kind of dig it. It's like kind of a throwback to some of this stuff. I mean, this page is pretty darn cool. It's hard because there's shininess because they're glossy pages, but yeah, I don't know. I'm into it. I got it for $5. Why not? What's the original cover price? $7.95. So got it for a discount, I guess. I got this because I love X Force, Liefeld X Force, and stuff. And I'm kind of repurchasing some of the comics that I like somehow don't have anymore. Like this is one of them. I don't know why I don't have them. I got rid of so many comics, and it just got lost in the shuffle, I guess. This is also one of the, I think, two issues where the colors are all over the place and crazy, and it's because they made a mistake in saying which number for the colors it was supposed to be. So there's this weird coloring, and actually I'll show this drawing right here. When I was in high school, I copied this drawing and the coloring I tried to mimic too, not realizing that the coloring was actually a mistake. Um, and I copied this. You remember how, when in high school you got your books and you had to put like a cover on your books, sometimes in like a brown paper bag. And I had one that was like kind of more shiny, glossy, white or whatever. I don't remember what that was from, but anyways, I drew like Shatterstar on two of my covers. I've been like obsessed with Shatterstar forever. He's not even a great character, but I just like his design and stuff. Um, but I drew this picture, and it's not even as good. It's nowhere near as good as this. But back in high school, people would see the drawings on my covers, and they'd be like, "Did you draw that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They wouldn't believe me. They're like, or they'd be like, "Oh, damn, this kid could draw, yo," that type of thing, and stuff like that. So I don't know, kind of interesting that they said that from my copying of Rob Life, my bad copying of what people think of in the comic community as bad art in general. Anyways, this was just some oddball book that I don't even know what it is, but I like the art, so I got one. It was like $1, you know. So I'm not going to go like deeply through all these comics. This one is cool. I've just been getting anything within that era of like Cable or X Force because I just want to get into them. I want to read some of these. I've been getting a lot of that stuff just to kind of, because a lot of it I didn't read. Once they went to Image, I stopped like checking into Cable and all that, but I kind of want to see if there's any good stories. This one, I think Dee Dee, you said something about, I think you said you like Johnny Quest or something. I don't know. But I saw this and I was like, this is interesting because it's like, it's painted, but it's mixed with like comic book style ink. And this whole cover like comes out as like a full thing. But I just really thought it was like, I'm not necessarily a Johnny Quest fan, but the art, like, I thought it was cool how there was like this painted background, but then like this like graphic, like inking, you know, in there. So I don't know. I just thought it was a cool effect. And the whole comic is sort of like that, you know? It's actually, I think this isn't like the classic original Johnny Quest. This is like, you know, I don't know. Let's see, when did this come out? 1987. And my guess is it was made in 1987. And, you know, I don't know. The illustrations are pretty neat. You know, I think it's cool. So yeah, maybe maybe it'll make me a Johnny Quest fan. Who knows? Again, pure just '90s fun. Got them in the dollar bin type stuff. I never was like a Deathlock fan, but I saw this cover and I'm like, this must have come out like around the time Image was around because this is like totally like that '90s extreme style, you know. And I just thought the art was pretty cool. I think this is in what's that guy's name? This is Dennis Cohen, which and Dwayne McDuffie was the writer of this one. So those are two of the guys who did Milestone Comics, which was the, you know, like the African American like line of DC Comics, which is really awesome actually. And you know, Wayne McDuffie's a great writer and Dennis Cohen's a great artist. And Dennis Cohen's art reminds me a lot of Walt Simonson too, which is, you know, also a plus because I like Walt Simonson a lot. So I don't think this one isn't them. I think this is a different, yeah, Kevin Kobasic penciler, and Gregory Wright writer. Yeah, so I don't know, but again, I just thought this was fun '90s craziness. Then I'm trying to put it in a bunch so it's like not going through the same stuff. Then I got a couple Namors. These are Jay Lee. I like Jay Lee's art. I mean, huge fan of Jay Lee's style at this time. I think his style is nothing like this anymore, but it's very like experimental, very inky, lots of ink and crazy like gestures and figure drawings. And yeah, he's just, I mean, some of this stuff is so amazing. And then there's this, what's his name? Mark Teixeira, which I always almost lump him in with, like, he's got a similar vibe as Jay Lee. So I'm kind of I want to maybe see if I can find more of his stuff too. But yeah, I love his style, like just really cool stuff. So, you know, again, for $1, why not? This one is fun. Loco and Pulverizer. And it's another, you know, situation like this. And it's just goofy fun. kind of taking the piss out of like, Sam Keith and like Keith Giffen and stuff, and like their Lobo and Wolverine stuff, which I love those things, both Lobo and Wolverine from them. But it's cool that they did like this parody thing, and like even right here, there's all these cartoon funny things. Like he said, "You didn't expect me to fill this entire space with people, did you? It's taken 10. It's taken me 12 years to do this much as it is." So, and then there's like, you want like one of the tropes of like Sam Keith at that time was like he did all these like all these shreds of clothing that look like phone cords and stuff. And in this, it's hard, you guys probably can't see it, but he has written in the curls, so many curls. So this one is really cartoony and fun to look at. We're getting issues with the focus and stuff here, sorry, but it's just like some really cool stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to digging into that one. Alien Stronghold, just some cool art. They had like all four. This actually reminds me of Mobius type of style, a bit color wise too. What they usually do with Mobius comics. It's not Mobius though, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's Doug Mank. But yeah, some really cool art and stuff. So again, they had all of them, but I just wanted to try one to see if it was something I would like. And then I just some other oddball things. I got all these like spawns. This one is just one I'd never seen the cover of, and I thought it was cool. Greg Capullo, typical stuff from that era. And then this is Blood Feud. I don't know if it's any good, but it's Alan Moore's story. I didn't realize that. I never knew about this particular story, so who knows? It might be cool. It might suck. Violator, which I used to have, another Alan Moore thing with Bart Sears, which I just like Bart Sears' art, and I used to have it, so I just got it because, again, it was cheap. It was $1, so I was able to get some of the stuff I had before. A couple other dollar ones that I didn't know, anything about. Well, I knew that they had all these 2099 books, but I ignored them when they came out. I didn't care about that stuff. I was into Image at that time. But this art is so cool, and it's Chris Baccello. I don't know how you say his name, but I'm familiar with him as an artist, but I'd never seen this stuff. This stuff is really cool too. Like I already like him, but it's him. But it says Chris Baccello breakdowns and Mark Buckingham finishes. Like I don't know what that means, but you can definitely see Chris's style in here. But again, he's got almost like that Sam Keithiness to it, which is weird because I don't remember Chris ever having that like kind of grittiness, to his style ever. But in this book, there's grittiness, and it's really cool. But I don't know. I'm assuming it's his pencils over the other guy's inks. But usually pencils, I didn't know that they're called breakdowns, so I don't know. So anyways, I got these, again, $1 each for the art. So I thought the art was cool. Here's like a classic Mystery in Space. I'm almost done here with the comics, guys. If you're bored, hopefully this isn't too boring. But I just love anything, all this old Silver Age stuff. Got an Adam Strange story. This stuff I love this stuff. So, I think this might possibly be a reprint. I don't even know. But I love this classic art, It's so awesome and fun and imaginative, and it usually goes into weird places. Again, this is kind of similar to the Basil Wolverton stuff, Space Ranger, and there's just like all these like weird characters and animals and aliens and stuff, and I freaking love it. Like, this page is great. I love all the animals and stuff and characters. So yeah, really fun stuff. And last but not least, the stuff I got, and hopefully I'll get to do some drawings and stuff here too. And maybe I'll do it. Let me know, guys, if you want me to do that giveaway. If nobody really is interested, that's fine, and maybe I'll try it again someday. I'll do maybe a proper video of it or something. But anyways, I got this little run of Shogun Warriors, which, it's 1 through 6. So this is Herb Trimpe art. So, Herb Trimpe is like very well known, and I love this. I want to draw this Raideen character. Like, he is like crazy monster kaiju type of robot thing. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I always see these on the shelf and I've never read them. So I'm like, I'm curious now. I want to read them. And I know Frankie B. Washington of Alterna Comics, he's a huge, huge fan of Herb Trimpe and a huge, huge fan of Shogun Warriors. So I talked to him for a long time the other day when I was at this convention that he was at. And, he was just telling me how he met Herb Trimpe and how this is one of his favorite comics that like inspired him. And I think he's even worked on Shogun Warrior since then or something. I forget what he said, but it's just, I'm really interested in digging into these. It's like almost like Transformers / kaiju. Like, I don't know. Really cool. So that's what I got. Spent a lot of time digging through comics and not making comics this weekend, but it is what it is. Now, a lot of chat has happened. Let's see. Okay. I want to get back to where I was beforehand. Okay. Nefarious, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out. X-Force, the GOAT. I love X-Force, the early Liefeld stuff especially, but I don't care what anyone says. That comic book helped precipitate a generational shift in comics. Hey, it was the first comic I bought by myself that I chose for myself ever. I saw it on that shelf and I was like, this is my jam, and never looked back since. I'm a huge fan of Liefeld and Youngblood, even though a lot of people will say a lot of crap about it. Let's see. Shatterstar is my jam. Yeah, man, totally. Mine too. Working on a different script right now. Cool. Oh, just picked up Powerbomb and The Last Shadowhawk. I'm interested in both. I definitely love the art on Powerbomb. I'm blanking on the creator's name, but I follow him on Instagram and I liked his stuff in was it Extremity? Is that what it was called or something? I can't remember. All the stuff he's done. What did he do? He's done a bunch of really cool comics. I love his art and I love his style and everything. It's both a great compliment and deep insult when someone does not believe that you drew something. I know it's a very weird comment to get, for sure. I agree. First was good, second was not. That's okay. I like what I like. Let's see. I need to go look at the bins and see what comics I can find. Yes, everybody does, in my opinion. I love those Cable issues and that time period when Capullo was doing X-Force for a while. Great stuff. Yeah, I've been starting to collect Capullo's X-Force as well. he had a knack for going and continuing comics for, to my great disappointment, continuing comics of people who I really loved seeing their art and was disappointed that their art went away, type of thing. Like he followed Liefeld and then he followed McFarlane on Spawn. And now I look back and I'm like, it's great. I love Capullo's stuff from that era and I love his stuff from this era. But back then I just was such a fiend for Liefeld and McFarlane that it was like you know, sorry, I'm getting distracted a little bit. It was just too, I was always disappointed whenever they would like kind of stop drawing. And honestly, it was the era of the early X Force and the early first like three, uh, issues of Youngblood and really stuff that came before X Force to two. That's what I liked Liefeld. I still like his stuff, but that was his sweet spot. After that, like after like the third issue of like Youngblood, I wasn't really digging his stuff anymore, like as much. It didn't have the same feel. You could tell he was trying to do stuff that was like more polished and stuff, and I don't know, it just wasn't as much my deal. I mean, I've bought a lot of his comics post Youngblood 3, and I still like the style, but it just was just a little bit not as much fun as the stuff, before Youngblood 3. So, anyways, Didi says the original Johnny Quest, never heard of this. Yeah, I think it's just the newer version of Johnny Quest. Um I've got that Johnny Quest issue, rad art in that. What's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. Do you remember if it was a good story? Sure, it was. Who's the painter on that? That's a good question. Let's see, where is it? Where did I put it? It was earlier on. Here it is. Let's see if we can figure out who's the painter. Adapted and illustrated by Doug Wildey. Shadow of the Condor. Influenced by Noel Sickles, Milton Caniff School of Cartooning. Oh wow, I didn't know there was that school of cartooning. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but cool. Yeah, that's who it is. That's a reprint of an older Wildey issue. Okay. It does kind of look like an old animation cell. That's a good call. Totally does. And I love the look of those. I've actually thought of making comics that way too, just because I like the look of it and experimenting with that. Loved Deathlock back in the day. Yeah, I never read it. And I wasn't interested back then, but now I am because I don't know. I just am. Yep, background and plastic cell layer in the front. Yep. I've actually thought about getting those cell layer, the acetate, I guess. Saw some of that in the art store today. I've thought about doing that before. Wonder if they used the original Johnny Quest cartoon. Maybe. Could be. Deathlock. Cohen is one of my favorite artists. He's great. His run on DL should be immortalized. Deathlock. Oh, really? Yeah. So he's like a well-known artist for that particular comic, I guess. Then, huh? I don't really know much. I just know him from Milestone, and then I knew that he worked on a bunch of other stuff too. Battletoads ad, yeah. Battletoads was the jam. Let's see. Jay Lee Hellshock. Yeah, for sure. Jay Lee did a lot of cool stuff back then. Frank recommends picking up a copy of Captain Goggles and Mask Women. The cover is rad. True, you're right. The cover is rad. I agree. Gotta hustle, yeah. Bart Sears on Violator is great. I agree. Do 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 do. Yes, I agree. Breakdowns means the first artist did rough, unfinished drawings. Okay. But they were enough for that for his drawing style to come through, but it does look like a little bit of a mesh of two artists. So that's it's really interesting, to see Chris Bocello, I think is how you say it. I don't know, Bocello. It's interesting to see his stuff like that because I feel like other stuff that he's done has been more just straight his stuff. I don't know if he inked his own stuff or what after that. Like I remember Generation X was the first time I saw his stuff and it was really cool. These are cool, not boring at all. Awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad you think they are. Some Oh, yeah, because that's how I was saying you were going through comics, too much. Yeah. Mystery in Space issue looks incredible. Yeah, I mean, don't, they kind of all do, man. Every time I've seen a Mystery in Space cover, I'm like, I want to get that, almost every time. I thought I bought some Superboy comics too, but apparently I didn't end up grabbing those. That's what Anna did in some of the pages of Captain Goggles and Mask Woman. She did pencil layouts and filled in the details and colors. Huh, interesting. Yes, Marsh, give away. Give it away to give it away to Frank. Yes, Shogun Warriors. Oh, that's the other thing is you have to like trust me to have your address too. So it is what it is, though. If you want to, if I guess if you enter the giveaway, you trust me to have your address, which I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not interested in messing anybody up with anything. Dee Dee said she'll help me if I want to do a giveaway. Cool. Yeah. What's the website you use? It's become popular. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you have people who help kind of tell you who did the numbers and stuff or whatever. So that would be great. Actually, I could use your help. Maybe we'll do it soon. It's become popular to rag on Liefeld, but he's laughing all the way to the bank. That's the truth. He's one of the probably the most wealthy comic creators, I would say. I don't know. I don't know who's the most wealthy. Maybe Alan Moore. I don't know, but I'm sure Rob is up there. I've watched interviews with Rob. He's very liable, probably likable. Oh yeah, likable. Yeah, he has. I listen to his Rob Observations podcast a lot, and he's a comic book person. Like he is such a comic book geek, like no other you've seen. Like he loves his comic books, and he'll talk about them with so much enthusiasm and excitement. Like it's infectious. It's absolutely infectious the way he talks about his stuff, and he's passionate about everything. He's got so much energy. I think what did Jim Valentino? He said something about him that was kind of funny. Like, oh, what did he say? He's repeated it many times, and it's just a way to illustrate how it's like this a kid with basically, I don't know, ADHD or something. Not to be crass with talking about ADHD, but like he's just like he's like some kid who just has more energy than anybody else, type of thing. Yeah, kayfabe guys have done a few interviews with him, and every time I see an interview with him, I'm excited about comics. Same with Todd McFarlane. Dream guest Rob Liefeld. I mean, yeah, me too. I'd love to have him on. Liefeld is a stylist, not an anatomist. That's for sure. Whenever he tried to tidy up his work and make it more accurate, it sacrificed the life force of it. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. I agree. Totally agree. And he even says himself that he's a stylist. He's like, I remember hearing him talk on his on observations about being like, look, guys, like I know that my art is whatever, whatever, but he's like, I was never trying to do accurate, uh, anatomy. I took those classes, I took figure study classes and all that stuff. But what I was doing in the comics was, I don't know if I can't remember. He basically said stylizing or cartooning or something to that effect. He's like, those are not meant to be realistic. I never was trying to be realistic. I was trying to be exaggerative and bring the energy and stuff like that, which I agree. And that's why I love his art. Do, 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 do. So who's carrying the torch now, Marsh? Um, who's carrying the torch? What do you mean? Like who's who's carrying the torch for comics? Man, the biggest torch carrier. I mean, there's a few, and I think it's a YouTube thing in a lot of ways. I mean, cartoonist kayfabe, they're doing a pretty damn good job. I can't knock them at all. They're pretty awesome. They're kind of carrying the torch in a lot of ways. I think that Peter Simeti for Alterna Comics is carrying the torch in a huge way. He doesn't have the reach as much as a lot of people. And then you can kind of make the argument for like some of the Comicsgate guys and stuff. But there's too much drama there. There's too much like stuff that I don't really like to involve myself in, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people do too. And, there's that new guy who just had that crazy crowdfunding. I'm blanking on his name. There's too many names to remember, but I'm kind of blanking on his name right now. But, I don't think but those guys, that guy isn't, he's a new face. He's not a torch carrier, not yet, at least. I mean, a lot of the old guys are still carrying the torch. I feel like, in a lot of ways. You know, so I mean, Eric Larson, you can make an argument for him because he never he kind of did stop doing Savage Dragon for a little while because he was busy like being kind of the guy in charge of Image. But as far as somebody who just keeps going on his comic, I have a lot of respect for him. I know a lot of people don't love certain things about him and maybe his personality or some of his ideas about things, but he's a lover of comics. He's a lover of Kirby. And I don't know. I think he's important and inspirational personally. Eric July, yes, Frank said, yeah, he's not technically CG, I know, but I don't care who's CG and who's not really. I mean, I'm not trying to dismiss what you're saying, Frank, but um, you know, CG is not something I'm CG friendly, and at the same time, I don't care about clicks and groups. So um, I'm everybody friendly. So oh, I like this. We are carrying the torch. We are making our own stuff and putting it out there. There you go, Frank. I dig that. The indies. Yep. I agree. I mean, carry your own torch, pave your own path. That's kind of how I feel. I do have to do some sketching, but let's see. I've been on almost 2 hours. So I don't know. So, Dee, like, how should I do this? I'll try, I'll do the giveaway, and then I'll maybe sketch on screen for a little while and just kind of let the chat do its thing, or I'll just get my sketching done while I watch somebody else stream or something. But I'll do the giveaway. So, the way I think Dee does it she does like, um, and you don't pick the number until I write. I'm gonna do it like Didi does it. Don't pick the number until I write in the chat. Go and if you start doing the numbers beforehand, those don't count. Um, but I take out the book. So, okay, here are the rules. Make sure you have live chat clicked at the top to see all the chat. Okay. Yep, that's what everybody should do. Make sure you have live chat clicked to see all the chat. Or I think that's how you say it. And then um, we're gonna do pick a number 1 through 100, and whoever's closest to that. I'm not sure, Didi, why you do who's closest to that below the number. I'm sure there's a reason why you do it that way. I thought it would be fine if it was above the number, but maybe there's a reason why. She says, wait for Marsh to say go. You will pick a number between, say, 1 to 25, one number only. And yeah, she says without going over. So I'm not quite sure why you say without going over, but I think you probably have a reason for it. Price is Right rules. Yeah, it's like Price is Right. So, I mean, we probably should do 1 to 25 because I have like a lot less people here. I guess that makes sense. Because she did 1 to 100, but that's kind of crazy amount if you don't have a lot of people guessing. So, what's the book? It's this book, 99 Ways. I'll go through it again real quick, a little bit. So 99 Ways to Tell a Story, Exercises in Style. I have 2 of these, so by Matt Madden. And it's one specific story. It's a 1-page story, and it's just a very simple story. But throughout the book, it goes through like a million different ways to tell it. Well, specifically 99 different ways to tell the same story. And there's versions where it's like, see, this one's like sound effects, just tell it all in sound effects. Or like, let's see if we can get to some we didn't get to before. Flashback, this one's all told in flashbacks. Deja Vu, this one's a political cartoon version. Underground Comics is like some R. Crumb stuff, a manga version. There's a Kirby one. This one's like war. There's just a million and one just different interesting ways to tell a story. Digital. Here's one. Digital. It's all ones and zeros and ones and zeros. I mean, some of it's almost goofy and just fun, but it's really inspirational. Here's like a George Harriman Crazy Cat style. And there's just like, it's inspirational to extreme close-ups. And this one's cool too. Vertical. This is like the McFarlane panels. I love how McFarlane does these crazy vertical panels. And then they got the horizontal, one. A lot of people, this is a popular way to do panels these days. But yeah, like there's just so many different styles, and it's really like, it's like a way almost to get unstuck if you're not sure how you want to approach your comic, or it's just a way to get some cool ideas. I think it's really cool. I have 2 copies. I'm giving one away. $1, Bob. So, yeah, you have over 100 people at every stream. So, Yeah, I think it makes sense to do 1 through 25. We'll try that. I don't have 25 people in the stream, so that makes it fair. Still, so you have to be willing to message Marsh your address to mail the book. Also, Marsh decides if you will do international or USA only. This is this is going to be USA only. Sorry to say. Usually, what Dee Dee does is she'll have like something smaller that she can send to UK. But I don't have enough people, because that's kind of, yeah. I'd have to have more people to do UK as well. So I guess I'm just gonna do USA only because I don't know if it's gonna be really expensive to send a book. If it, what I'll do is next time I have one, I'll try to do a giveaway where it's something light that I can send anywhere. Um, so for the UK people, I'll try to come up with something that I can do a giveaway for you guys too. So yeah. International will run probably more than the book costs. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yep. So yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. So when I type in go, no earlier than that. When I type in go, put in a number 1 to 25, and whoever's closest without going over is the person who will get this. And when I write stop in the chat, then you have to stop. And I won't count anything before go or after stop. So, yeah, hopefully that's clear. And so I'm going to write something in the chat soon. And bam, here we go. So if you want this book, write a number between 1 and 25. All right. There we go. I should have put a timer or something, but I guess you can't do it more than once, so it won't count if you do it more than once. So, yeah. So this is the book. I'll give it a couple more seconds because it looks like most everybody has put their number in. If you want to get your number in, I'll do a little countdown. Yep, just put one number. So here's the countdown. Let me type it in first. So here we go. 10, 9, get your number in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. All right. There we go. We have successfully done that. So now I have to go to a website that does the random generation. Gladman Comics was too late. Sorry, Gladman. But you also put in the number that somebody else put in. So what is the website? It's called what? Random.com or something? Random number generator. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just random number generator. 1 to 25. All right. I'm going to press the button now. Do. All right. The number is 7. So whoever is closest to 7 without going over gets the book sent to them. And it looks like it's Nathan Rosario, which is great. Congratulations, Nathan. Looks like you got the book. And 25 wouldn't have won it anyways. So, even though you got there a little late, glad man, sorry. Unfortunately, you wouldn't have got it anyways. Oh, wait. Yeah, everyone went over 7. Why am I so dumb? Adam, good call. Everyone. So what do I do then if everyone went over 7? You do another number, right? That's what you usually do. You try again, I think. Yeah, everyone went over, pick another number. Okay. So we're gonna do that. So now, Glad Man Comics, you have a chance. Sorry, Nathan, I messed up. This is my first time, my first go around. So we're gonna do it again. All right, we're gonna do 1 through 25 again. Everybody put in one number between the time I write go and the time I write stop. All right. This is fun and nerve wracking at the same time. All right. On your mark, get set, go. 1 through 25 without going over. Which I'll talk about that after because I don't want to like fix anybody's situation. Do 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 do. All right, everybody is probably about in, but I will do a countdown once again, just so if anybody's listening, they can get theirs in. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. No more. All right. So we got some more numbers here, and we will click that generate button again. All right. We might have a winner for this one, 16. So we definitely have people under 16. Everybody's under 16, which, I mean, I didn't know my audience was so young. Did Nathan win it again? I generated a new number. But there might be a time lag here. So I got 16. So it looks like Nathan won it again. Am I right? Yeah, I think I'm right. Nathan had 12. Sweet. So Nathan won it again. Lucky you. Congratulations, Nathan. My congratulations before was not in vain. Awesome. I'll let you, Nathan. You should definitely put some numbers in a lottery tomorrow. You're on a roll. Maybe there's enough time tonight. I don't know. Wow. All right. So Nathan, DM me, or actually, you have my email. I think. Email me, DM me, however you want to get in touch with me in a private way, your address, and I'll send it over to you. I mean, I could just go and meet you somewhere too because you live near me. But yeah, either way, I'm cool with sending it. That'll be fine. Um, cool. I never win anything. Well, you just won twice. Yes, Nathan, please pick the next Powerball. Wow. It gets easier, Marsh. Good job. Thank you, Didi, so much for all the help with that. That was really cool. So I'm going to sit here and do some sketching for a little bit, but I'll probably close out the episode soon. If you guys have any thoughts or questions or anything you want to chat about, let me know. See, I was drawing some Space Hawk before, and I drew this one too, which is, these are just like really rough scribbly sketches and stuff. That was kind of all for that, but just doing some figure studies and whatnot. Drew a really bad spawn on camera the other day. I created whatever this character is. That was just some random drawing one the other night. So I don't know. I got to draw something. Got to get some sketches in tonight. So yeah, thanks for everybody for hanging out. You guys rock. This was a fun live stream. And again, check out Didi's. Nice. I just used up all my luck for the year. Well, you've got favor, right? You've got favor with the Lord, so that's awesome. um, so, yeah, what was I gonna say? Do you want to take? Yeah, I'll take requests. I don't know if I'll do very well with them, but I'll do it. I'll take a request or two or 12 or I don't know. I won't be here for that long. Uh, Nathan, I need some numbers for Keno. I like that. Supernatural favor. Nothing like it, right? Do 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 do. So I should play some of my music like Josh did, but I won't. I don't even know how he did that. Like, how did he even do that? I guess it's something you could do with live stream. I think I know how you can do it. I've never tried. So yeah, I mean, that's what this whole like episode really, the theme of this episode is like, stop, try to not let buying art supplies and buying art inspiration and just seeking art inspiration get in the way of actually making art and making comics, and that's the lesson I need to learn this weekend. That's for sure. I need to find, like, I have all this art supplies, but I can't find a pencil. Some of them are in my bag, that's why. Like, I have this thing. I have one of these, and this is what I take around, but I was kind of putting all my cool pens and stuff that I like in here, and it was getting like way too stuffed, so I took a bunch out. But yeah, this is where like my go-to art supplies are. I'm looking to find a bin. Like I said, tomorrow I'm probably going to stop at Hobby Lobby. There's one thing that I saw. It was only $15 that I could put my markers and stuff in. So they like I can. I mean, I already got ruined markers, but hopefully, these ones like whatever I get in the future won't get ruined. Let's see, what was I suggestions and stuff. Yeah, right. Totally. Okay, let's see. We got Captain, of course, Captain Goggles and Mask Woman. Do 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 do. What's up, Matthew? I have backed up the stream to the beginning. Oh wow, it's gonna be a while. it's let's see, we got 2 minutes and 17 2 minutes, 2 hours and 17 minutes, I mean, so far. Yeah, two times. Yeah, you gotta watch it double speed. So, Marsh, what is your opinion on going through publishers versus self publishing? Jeff and Josh had a debate about it a few weeks back. I was wondering your opinion. Yeah, I've thought a lot about that. I've even talked about it and stuff too. I watched that, stream, and it was interesting. And I think that I'm kind of feeling what Josh was saying, because Josh wasn't saying that self-publishing is bad. He was saying he's into both. You know, um, and depending on where you are in your career and what your goals are specifically, there is an argument I feel like to be made for going through a publisher. I tend to favor the self-publishing side. So it's like kind of funny because in a lot of ways I'm on the same page as Jeff, because I kind of have that attitude too a little bit, where it's like, well, what's the point? What's the point of having a publisher? But I thought that I thought that Josh made some good points about that. You know, for him in his situation, it was a good thing. Like, and it works, and he's getting further reach because of it. Um, and I don't see what the problem with that is. I think that's fine. I don't have anything against publishers. I want to be published at Alterna, and I'd love to be published at Image. And it's not because I think that they're going to do something great for me. To me, I just want to be published on newsprint, and I love what Peter Simeti's doing, and I would love to be part of that and contribute to that. And for Image, like, that is, to me, what Image did, um, when they struck out and did their thing, like, that shook the earth of that shook the world of comics. And I would love to be able to say I did a book at Image, and like, because it's just a dream. Like, when Robert Kirkman talks about, like, he had dreams of, like, being in meetings with the founders, like, I mean, yeah, I didn't have that specific dream, but I dreamed of working with them. Like, I was so on board with what they were doing. Um, and it was just like, it would be a dream to be able to play a tiny part in the company that I think, really did a very important things, and also was just exciting to me, you know. Um, I actually think Alterna has a better deal than Image, actually, but they don't have the reach that Image has. So the thing is, though, it's not, it would help more people get to know me for sure, in my work, to go to both of those places. But when it comes down to it, they're not going to be able to do anything I couldn't do on my own, you know? So, yeah, like, it's not as much as, like, kind of getting the gatekeepers to, um, kind of, uh, sorry, I saw that Dee Dee said draw, a samurai, so I'm thinking about it. But, I don't think that, I need to worry about gatekeepers, you know? Um, or I shouldn't say gatekeepers, but, like, I don't need to worry about, like, somebody discovering me, and then pushing forward what I make. But I do think it does come with a little extra eyes, and extra eyes is great, is always great. And, you know, yeah, there is some things that come with being published that, help. So I don't know. I kind of like both a lot. I really, but I don't have any interest in. Well, actually, that's not even true. I wanted to say I don't have any interest in being published by the big two, but I mean, look at cartoonist kayfabe. Look at Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg, and they basically created their own passion project and asked Image if or Marvel if they would publish it, and they published it. Basically, I mean, that's a simplification. I'm sure there was a lot more that went down with it, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I saw one of my favorite artists, James Stokoe. He did an Avengers book there in his own style, in his own way. It was weird. It had nothing to do with the continuity of, the Avengers, but it was a cool book. Like, if Marvel would let me do my own thing, if I could approach them like one of those artists, I would do something for Marvel or DC. And they have allowed those opportunities at times. I wouldn't be interested really in drawing like Spider-Man or like I mean, I it's like I wouldn't. I don't know. Like I wouldn't want to be like a guy who does like a run on Spider-Man or like any of like X-Men or whatever. That's not something that I'm interested in doing. Um, but I wouldn't mind having maybe like a little mini series with my own take on it that's like not even within the continuity of the characters, you know. In a way that's what Frank Miller did with Dark Knight. He that's not really within the continuity of the typical, Batman stories. And that's what, Alan Moore, Watchmen is like. I mean, that's like his own thing within DC. So I don't know. I'm open to all kinds of possibilities, but I don't. In a lot of ways, I am with Jeff Lafferty in that, like, don't wait for anybody. Do it yourself. But if you can come into those situations where you have those opportunities, I don't. I would entertain it, but I would also recognize that that's not the end all and be all. That's just a part of the career. That's fun. And interesting. So yeah, that's about where I'm at with that. Marsh, I enjoyed Attack of the Lizard Brain, Corncob Rob, cool positive messages. I really dug your illustration on the comic about the samurai and native story. Sorry, I can't recall the name. Yeah, that was Lone Wolf by Doug Garrett, and he wrote it and I drew it, but he gave me tons of liberties, on doing it. And that was the first time like I did a comic where I did pencils, inks, colors, letters, and it was like a real comic as far as like I guess in that it was colored. Um so that was a fun experience for sure. And I appreciate that. Thank you. They are cool, positive messages. I really want to get better at writing though, because I feel like they're very simple messages or I shouldn't say simple messages, but simple stories. I want to get better with my stories, but I do appreciate that. And when I do look back at all that stuff, I am very proud of it. Dee Dee wants me to draw a samurai of any version or style, please. Okay. So I did draw a samurai before, so I'll try doing that. Samurai are hard. Feel like I need to look up some references, even though I have drawn them. So I'm going to do just that. Should I go to Pinterest? Pinterest is a good place for references. And I'm not going to necessarily draw straight from reference, but I'll get some inspiration. Samurai. Yeah, Dee Dee, on your stream, I mentioned that Japanese artist Hokusai. He's like an ancient artist, like ancient, like I think it was 1700s or something, or 1800s. I'm not sure, but there are like people who like um, Japanese artists, I should say. If I don't know if I said that, but there are people who kind of attribute his stuff as being like early manga almost. And he also, again, I'm always attracted to people who do like crazy monsters and stuff. And he did like they have like demons and stuff in ancient Japanese folklore and stuff. And demons is a little bit different than we think of them, in like a Christian perspective. They're just like kind of, for them it's like all kinds of spiritual beings, and some of them are good and some of them are not. And it's a whole different kind of situation. um but let's see. So I need to try to do a gesture. Do 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 do. It's hard to find, like, come up with a gesture, but I'll try. I wanna start with gesture first because that's, I think that makes for a better drawing, but it's hard. Let's see. I get the eraser out and stuff. And I'll use what I'm going to use the reference for is just kind of the sort of the details and stuff. Um, I'm not as fast of a drawer as some people too, so do you guys like? I guess one thing with kind of coming up with a gesture, and oh yeah, I wanted to make sure I have the good focus on here with that program. Let's see if we can make sure. I gotta get used to this. Okay, here's it's on autofocus. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can get, and then brightness. That's about as focused as it gets. Let's see if we can get some stuff with the brightness. Yeah, there we go. Oh, not too bright. Contrast? Mhm. I don't know how much that helps. Saturation probably doesn't help. It's tough with pencil. Sharpness. Maybe sharpness will help a little bit. Yeah, I think that helps a little. All right, so we'll go with that for now. Hopefully, this will do the trick. At least it's not going in and out of focus and stuff. So, one thing, and I feel like, I guess when I do drawings, I almost start teaching people. And I'm not necessarily, maybe shouldn't, but I feel like you get kind of a line. It's hard to make up a gesture. It's easier to like use one that you see, but I don't want to sit here forever like looking for reference and stuff too much. So I'm going to try. So a lot of times there's like a nice little through line, and then if you put, this is for dynamic gestures, of course. It's not necessarily for um if you're just having people standing and sitting, you don't necessarily need to do this as much. But I like to put like, so this would be like the shoulders and this is like the hips. So they're kind of opposite like angles. And then a lot of times, like the head, I notice when I do gesture studies, like there's a gesture for the body and the head sometimes goes through, but sometimes the head is cocked in a little bit of a different way. So that's something to kind of think about, I think. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think about when you make, like, do you start with gesture and then build out the form and then go into the details? Because I feel like that's the way I want to draw. Sometimes I start with the details, which I feel like leads me down a bad path. Um, but and then another thing to think about is where is the eye line, and I'm thinking the eye line is about here, right where the kind of the crotch is, which is maybe not a good thing, but I don't know, because we got it's definitely above there, and then yeah, I don't know. So we could have one foot kind of going back here. I don't know if this is going to be the greatest gesture in the world, but who cares? We kind of put the foot there. Got the knee placement. See, I didn't really do this right. So this is actually the hips are right here. So it's not even that cocked like I thought it would be. but whatever. We'll just go with it. And maybe the eye line. Yeah, I still think the eye line is right here. So I'll just do a standing pose, I guess. I don't like to just do a standing pose, but hopefully it's an interesting enough standing pose. Um, so the knee would go right here, about. It's hard to think of all the things and do them in the right thing. Sometimes you just want to start drawing. And so where are the arms going to be? I think could be cool like this, like kind of cocked back a little. And then this one I kind of want back too, and then just have the hand right here. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm digging this. This is all right. And then the head is kind of like that's what I mean by kind of different, like the body is facing, out this direction, but the head is looking over here. And it just makes it a little more interesting, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it in a little bit of a more cartoony style because then I could kind of get it finished quicker, I guess. Um, Not that it has to be super quick, but it's also more fun sometimes to draw in a cartoony style. So I think that's a pretty good gesture. And I got the forms in there. Wow, I'm actually doing it the right way for once. Now it looks like he would have like a bow in his hand, but I wasn't really thinking of him having a bow in his hand. Like um, like a bow stick thing. But I could do that. But let's see. Otherwise, he could have like a knife in one hand, and then but then there's like a little bit of a tangent there. I could if I was gonna have him like with the knife under his hand or whatever. Well, I could do it like this. I could have the knife in his hand like this with this one, and then have a sword in this hand. It's kind of neat. It's not the most actiony pose, but it's getting ready for action. So yeah, I think that's pretty good foundation. Let's see what the chat's saying. Do 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 do. Got that. Josh Samurai, lots of samurai armor references. Yeah. Image can get your books into shops internationally. Can you do that yourself? Yes, but it's not as easy for me as it is for Image. To me, it's a question of time. I can't promote and create at the same time unless you're talking about YouTube videos. But as far as contacting comic shops or dealing with distribution, etc., yeah, that's the part. Like, it's all tough. Like doing it yourself it means you have to wear every hat, and that's not easy. I mean, I've done it myself. And even on a small level, it's not easy. But YouTube channel helps. I think, even publishers have gotten privy to having a YouTube channel or doing social media in general. I mean, honestly, social media is a game changer. I think we all underestimate the power of social media and don't use it nearly to our advantage as much as we should. Or I shouldn't say should, but as much as we could. I don't want to say should. I self-publish by just printing at home, but went with an actual printer for my Goggles and Mask comic because I wanted to give it a good treatment. Maybe someday I'll go with a publisher. Who knows? Yeah, and it's I think when you're beginning, definitely don't wait for a publisher. And I'm not saying you're just beginning, Frank. I know you've put out a few things, but I'm just saying for anybody, like when you're in that early stage, I should say, because I feel like I'm still in the early stage and I've, published a good handful of comics, small comics, big, not only one that was like a full issue size, but yeah. But I think Landon's right about the time thing. That's something you absolutely should factor in. Um, all that is time and money. So if you are willing to give a cut to a publisher, assuming they're actually doing a good job, I think it's worth the money to give you more time to create. So it is, but there is a devil's advocate idea too. Is like the thing is even people who have a publisher, a lot of times they still have to do the marketing, a lot of the marketing work. The thing that publishers solve, and they covered this on Jeff's show, is distribution. They can solve that better than we can, usually, distribution. But as far as the marketing and promoting, we still have to do a lot of the legwork, and the more legwork we do, the better the project will usually be, even if you have a publisher. Why don't more of you use Amazon like Scott does? I would like to use Amazon. I just haven't figured it out yet, and I haven't put out anything substantial enough for that yet. That's what I want to do next. And I think, yeah, I think you absolutely, there's no reason why not to use Amazon. Um, the only thing with that is I don't know how it works exactly, but I know you can go through like their print services, but a lot of times we want to print, we don't like using their print services because they don't, like, I want to do like a sketch. I have an idea for doing like a blank, sketchbook for people to draw in. But I don't know if the paper that goes through CreateSpace is good to sketch on. You know what I mean? Or draw on. I don't know if it's the kind of paper that I want to print on. And a lot of people have a lot of other printers that they can use, and so I think you can sell stuff that you already printed on Amazon as well. I don't know how to do that, so it might be a little more complicated, and that's maybe why there are definitely people who do print and sell comics through Amazon. But a lot of the people in our community don't tend to. So I'm not sure why. I haven't looked deep into it yet. You have to make sure it's in your contract that they will promote you because it's not automatic. True. True. Nelly says, understood, Marsh, but I am so glad that Marvel, Dark Horse, DC, Image rejects my works. I went a different direction too. Cool. I mean, it's cool that we have the option to do both. Like, nothing wrong with that. Amazon is a good option. But if you feel you can do all that yourself successfully and you don't mind sacrificing your time, then yeah, guess you don't really need a publisher. Yeah. Of course, references. Yes, I'm a fan of references. Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, if you've drawn it a million times, I drew it a few times, but I still don't feel like super confident. You have a biography on him. On who? I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. Samurai koala with sword arm and bamboo peg leg. Isn't that a thing already? Is that a, I don't know. Is that the, oh, that's the panda? I don't know. Like panda, whatever, the Jack Black thing. But that's a cool idea, though. I like that. The other comic guy. Nice name, too. Uh, Seems like Josh has been able to negotiate a pretty good deal with his publisher. I agree. Sounds good to me. Amazon can be my publisher. They can be. It's cool we have that option, right? Whoops. Yeah, Scott seems to like it. All right. I made digital sketchbook CGMW. You get it free when you buy the digital, but I'm thinking of putting that on Amazon. I just need to tinker with KDP. Cool. Fashion poses are good at reference. Yeah, I agree. Usually do start by working out an overall composition in a thumbnail. That, I'm just drawing like a figure, but yeah, I think you're right when you're trying to do like a full-on illustration. Mark Crilly just commented on my IG. Wow, that's crazy. Do do do. But yeah, you got to capture the flow and the gesture first, unless you're a genius. If you don't capture the movement and gesture, then you can end up spending a lot of time polishing a turd. Exactly. But that's a common mistake that people make, So I'm still learning not to do that. It's like I learned that a long time ago, but I still catch myself starting with detail, and it's stupid. They have two swords, don't they? I'll look at the reference. I think they have like lots of different weapons, but a lot of times, yeah, I think you're right. They do have two swords. Yeah, you're right. I need to buy one to see if it's good to sketch with. I was thinking of doing that as well. But you got that 800-page sketchbook. Was that like a Amazon printed one, or is that just like something somebody made and sold? See, that's the thing. How do you know which ones are from like Create Space and which ones aren't? I don't know. But you said you had other ones, so I'm sure you did have some that were created in Create Space. And you said I like them for sketching, not finished drawings. Okay. Amazon tends to use cheap, crummy paper. Yeah, I should buy one. They're cheap. Yeah, I mean, who would expect anything else? Totally. Oh, you have a biography on Hokusai. Cool. Yeah, his stuff is so. I love the art. That's what I only know about that because of this research I was doing for samurai and Indians and stuff on for the Lone Wolf comic that I was making. Yeah, I'll have to maybe I'll get Scott's sketchbook because that'll be like a way to really see 600 pages, and they have the same paper. Okay, it's fine for sketching and note taking. Cool. All right, let's get back to the drawing. All right, I'm gonna look at my reference real quick. Yeah, it looks like a lot of times they have two swords. So should I put? Let's see. I think they use different weapons too sometimes, but I think you're right. They tend to have two swords. So I'm gonna stick with the two swords idea. All right. So they usually have like a cool mask thingy or whatever. Let's see. So I want to try to slightly cartoonize their helmet and everything. All right, so it's kind of like more of like a dome that kind of comes out. It's like Darth Vader, a little bit. And then, they'll have like sometimes different symbols and stuff, like different, I don't know. I'm sure there's different like kind of tribes and not the like different ranks and stuff that have like their uniforms and stuff probably have to do with their ranks and stuff. I'm assuming. Then they have like masks a lot of times, but not always. Do a lot of times. Anyways, so yeah, kind of something like that going on. Be nice to get a more straight on pose. See, some of these are like artist renditions and stuff. I kind of want like what I'd really like is um almost photos of like the real thing type of situation. Samurai photo. Let's try that. These are all like artist renditions and do. Yeah. So they're gonna have like there's so much to a samurai like the the armor is just super detailed. Like people who draw samurai comics, like good luck. I mean, even I did like a very simplified version of samurai when I did my comic, and you know, I wasn't used to doing that much detail. But people like doing detail too. Like I don't know. So I guess it might be your jam, to do that much detail. Mm-mm-mm. And sometimes I like doing detail too, so I don't know. Actually, I gotta. That's the other thing is keeping track of like the perspective, the horizon line and stuff with all these details. I got to spend more time sketching. Like a lot of times, I rush too quickly to the finished drawing, and then the I don't get like the perspective on the details right. Mm, So I'm trying to grow. I guess one thing that's cool with drawing samurai is you don't have to necessarily you still have to get the proportions right, but you don't necessarily have to get like the anatomy right because you don't really see any of the anatomy. So that's one cool thing. um, what actually is a good reference I should look up is um what is it called? Yeah, Yosagi Ojimbo. Is that how you say it? Because that guy's isn't he like a samurai, or they have samurai in that and stuff, and it's a cartoonized version. So let's see. Usagi. Images. Well, yeah, here we go. They even go in some detail with that one though, but that's interesting. Kind of fun actually when no, would you say a koala? I should have if I was gonna do the koala though, I should have probably started already. At this point, I'm kind of lost the chance to do a koala. I could maybe fit in a koala face, but it wouldn't look great with this body type. Maybe I'll do that though at some point. I'll do it again one of these days because that could be fun. And then they have like these puffy pants or whatever type of thing, but then they have the armor again. It's so similar to like, you know, like a hockey goalie. Some of the padding and stuff. And then they have sandals. They got all that armor, and then they're wearing sandals. It's like if I was a samurai, I'd just be chomping at people's feet. Maybe that's dirty fighting. Actually, I think they did have sometimes shoes. Even I feel like I've seen some armor on the feet before as well. Do do do. Let's see. Do 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 do. Yeah, don't worry. I don't think I didn't hear anything snarky in what you were saying. Yeah, actually, I think I'm pretty sure. You know, yeah, Star Wars was inspired by um, Seven Samurai and other. I think Frank alluded talks about it too. George Lucas was, yeah, um, you know, inspired by that. I think my samurai is a little too skinny. Like you don't usually see skinny, like they don't look skinny with all that armor on, but whatever. I have all Scott's making comics templates. The paper is fine for sketching. I gave one of the comic layout books to a kid, and he's been making comics in it. He ain't complaining. All right, cool. Yeah, I bet he used Samurai too for Darth Vader. Inspired by Japanese film for Star Wars. Yeah, again, I think it's Kurosawa and Seven Samurai and other movies they did. He did. See you later, Matthew. Thanks for hanging. Sweet. I'm looking forward to it. Black and white inking. Yeah. Usagi Yojimbo is a samurai. I'll be doing a Usagi sketch card soon. Cool. A lemur samurai. Yes, that's funny. Lemurs are great. uh, that that now I'm gonna start making samurais of like every cool animal. Maybe, maybe not. Uh, I don't think Yosagi wears armor much. I haven't read any issues though, but he's been on the Ninja Turtles cartoons. Yeah, I'm looking through images. Once in a while, he has armor on, but usually no. So, cause you know why? Because it's a pain in the butt to draw the armor. So, yep. So we're getting there a little bit here. Do 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 do. And there's like, I mean, if you look up like samurai armor, like it seems like no two armors are the same almost, you know? There's so many different textures and this and that. And like I remember looking up reference and being like, oh my gosh, how am I going to translate this to, the comic and stuff? But somehow I did. Suppose I could look at my own comic for reference. Ooh, this is a good reference. Shows the detail a little better. Cool. All right. So I think I got some cool stuff. What do they do? They have like rope and stuff around their waist for, I don't know. I'm just going to do like typical, like cloth thingy. Um, this one guy has like this circle emblem thing on his chest. Maybe that'll make me have to do less details if I do that. All right. So they do usually have two swords, and then they have like the sword holsters coming out like this, or sheaths, or whatever they're called. What are they called? Which is kind of a pain in the butt to draw. And I didn't figure out really what I want to do for the face. What does a koala look like? uh, that's what a koala looks like. Koalas look like samurais. Maybe I'll do like a koala esque face. Should I do the ears? That's kind of weird. All right. I think I'm going to use a brush pen. I haven't used one. I've been wanting to use one for a while. I haven't used one in a while. This one's a medium. Probably should use a fine one. Let's see. I could just use this. It's kind of my go-to. It's not exactly a brush pen, but it's similar. Let's see, what didn't I draw? What details am I missing? I guess I know that there's usually pads here, so I'll throw some pads here, even though I don't see them on the reference I have right now. I think. Or do these just come down farther? Let's see. It's so hard because there's so many like overlapping things within the armor. Oh yeah, actually this ends up being like kind of connected too. So yeah, I'll just kind of wing it from there, I guess. So we got the worst thing you could probably do when you're inking is draw the hand first. Uh, the best thing you could probably do when inking is draw something that's not important first. But hey, we're taking chances, living life dangerously. What does a samurai sword look like? They have pretty small, like hilts or whatever. And then they have like long stems, I guess. And then they have these like little braidy things, and I don't know how to draw those very well either. I think I would have learned something by drawing a comic book with a samurai in it, but no, not really. And then this is the other thing. I always freehand what I shouldn't freehand, which is, this long line. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I did it. And it is, in my opinion, good enough. Do-do-do-do. All right. Then we'll do like a little stuff here, cloth and things holding on to the. It's got like everything, all these pads have straps. And there's cloth underneath them. So there's like it's there's so much detail. And I'm gonna do, I think they have like this kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of making stuff up here a little bit. I'm pretty sure though, they kind of have this type of thing going on sometimes. If they don't, then oh well. I could use a little of this to fix a part that I shouldn't have done. Oh, you know what I could have done here? So I could have done what they do in art tutorial videos now that I have a kneaded eraser. I wonder if the focus is being weird now. I'll have to check. Now that I got ink going, it'll change, So they do like this a lot of times with the kneaded eraser. And lightly, just make it lighter. I mean, if I was smarter, I probably would have drawn this in blue pencil, but I wasn't smarter. So. And I probably would have done this before I had wet ink on the page. But, why do things the right way and the easy way? I like to make things harder for myself. It's more fun. There we go. Let's check out the focus here. CB's here. What's up? How you doing, man? Glad to see you in here. How many books have you made, Marsh? Mini comics, larger comics? It's a good question. It's been like a handful. I say like probably somewhere around 10, and they're all mostly mini. I made one that was like a full length size. That was Corncob Rob. and everything else is more on the mini comic size or anthology, submission size. So yeah. Plus, those little the little 1 hour comics. So those, if those count, then maybe more around 12. I don't know. It's hard to say. I've done so many little things. Focus looks good. That's good. Yeah. You're right. I think you're right. It's looking pretty good there. So that's awesome. Everyone needs to back Wildcat. There's still a day or two left from what I understand. So everybody should check out Wildcat. Let's throw a link in there. Let's throw a link. Wildcat anthology on Indiegogo. Let's throw a link. We got 51 backers. Oops. I just 51 backers, 1700, yeah, that'd be nice. $1,730 is where we're at. And you got 30 hours left. 30 hours left. Everybody who hasn't gone and backed Wildcat can go here and check it out. It's worthwhile, I think. I'm looking forward to the book coming to my house. Check it out. There might be some Salazar sketch cards on the Wildcat campaign. Cool. Everyone needs to back Wildcat. Yes, sir. All right. So let's get back to this. Even not remembering like how I drew it before, it still helps, man. Like every drawing you do, like adds to the like mental library, I guess. Like I'm remembering a few things as I'm doing this that was like, oh yeah, that's something. So I'm still nowhere near an expert at drawing samurai stuff, that's for sure. But every bit of experience helps. Definitely looking forward to figuring out what my next project is with comics because I'm ready. I'm ready. So that'll probably be a big part of my task this week. So, one thing I should do is draw things that are in front before I draw things that are in back. But luckily, you kind of can't make mistakes anymore. There's so many tools to fix mistakes. Like, when in doubt, white it out instead of black it out. Let's see. How do their thingies work all the time? Yeah, they're kind of just there. Okay. So maybe. So where's the sword? This is what I should draw first. This is the thing that's most in the front. So let's see. This sword is gonna go like this. Yeah. So let's draw. Oh wait, here's the hand. So it's like this. I don't want it to tangent with this sword, so it's gonna come just short enough. So it's gonna go like right about there. So the stem will come out back here a bit. I don't know if that's probably not the name of it, the stem, but that's what I'm calling it. And then it's gonna follow that line to about here. So we gotta hold our breath and hope we do this right. Actually, I might have put the angle wrong. I might have to redraw that stem. If it's about this size, yeah, see, it's gonna go like, I kind of want it to go like right to there. So I might have to redraw that stem. That's where I want it to go. One trick to drawing a straight line like that, which I didn't do a great job actually, but and I hate going over lines like this twice, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's not the greatest, but one trick though, just if you're curious, is look to where you're going, and you can practice this too. Like just draw two dots, and I'm not. It's hard to see from this angle, but and just like put two dots. This is just practice this. This is like good warm ups. Practice going to the dots and just try to draw the straightest line you can, and do that like for a whole page or 2 pages or 3 pages. It's good warm up practice, which I didn't do any of before I drew this. So, do what I say, not what I do, apparently. But at least I started with the gesture this time. That's kind of cool. I often forget to do that. So, actually, this stem doesn't look horrible. Like, it's not perfect. Nothing in my drawings are ever perfect. But yeah, how come I don't have the whiteout thing that I like? Why would I put it away when I need it all the time? And I don't have to do this right now, but when you're drawing like something with a lot of detail, even if I just do a crappy version and then go back over it later, because you can do that with these pens anyways, it's actually good if you do like a second coat. Um, but even if I just do like a crappy version, like, because I'll forget to do that detail and then it'll look stupid in the end product. I'll take a picture of it, throw it on Instagram, and then tomorrow I'll look at it and be like, crap, I didn't even do the normal thing I'm supposed to do with that. So, anyways, it's easy to suck. It's not, it's hard to be good, even with the moral issues. That is true, I think, personally. All right, horizon line is like, yeah, it's like literally right here. That's another thing I always forget about and don't think about is where's the horizon line? Where's my perspective on a figure? It's amateur level stuff, which I kind of am an amateur. All right, it's not looking too shabby yet. I'll get there though. It'll start looking real shabby at some point. Do 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 do. Just keeping it pretty simple with the armor. Suppose that those maybe should have had a curve to them, but I already made the mistake. Oh yeah, so the other thing I have to draw that's in front. See, there's going to be a ton of tangents here if I draw those holster things. Maybe I'll skip the holsters and just pretend they're not there. It's probably holster is not the right word. That's like for a gun. uh, but what can I say? There's like all kinds of like, you know, strings and stuff because everything's held together by strings. But those are details you kind of can omit or put in there or just kind of suggest. Sometimes suggested details are cooler, anyways. I got the curve in there a little bit, so that's good. And there's like a lot of like chords and stuff, strings and stuff that kind of hold the sandals together. And I have no clue how it's constructed, but we're just going to kind of fudge it and stuff. So, yeah, better not start putting details like that in yet. Just a lot of details. There's cloth behind here. Do 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 do. Reminding myself of Jake Parker, like not that I'm as good as him, I'm definitely not, but when I watch Jake Parker, I notice how like cuz he you can kind of see like zoomed in on his lines a little bit, I think more. I forget. It's been a while since I watched one of his videos, but I just remember seeing like how quickly he does these lines and how he's not trying to be a perfectionist, and it's inspiring because you know it's hard to get those lines right, but he gets them right more often than not, I guess. So I guess I kind of might have fudged like the direction of this foot because it's got to the way I put it, it's got to go out like this, but I wanted to put it the foot actually facing a little more forward, which still could be the case. I might still kind of do that, but I kind of messed that up. I'll do a compromise of both versions. That's kind of there. Put a little line weight on the bottoms. So you see like kind of a little shadow. It makes it feel like there's a little more weight there, I guess. Hopefully. It's all an illusion. Do, 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 do. This is kind of fun, actually. It's getting there. Oh, my screen went blank. I hope I didn't stop streaming. No, looks like I'm still there. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. You guys are just chatting and stuff. Cool. Cool. If there's anything you want me to specifically address, um, put it in all caps because right now you guys are kind of talking amongst yourself, which is totally fine. But I just, it's hard to like see, um, you know, like what I should pay attention to type of thing. so, so I really screwed up this part, but I'm going to go in with whiteout because everything's fixable. Yeah, to avoid tangents, I think I'm going to not put in the holster things. Maybe I'll regret it one day. Somebody will be like, there was one time years ago where you were streaming and you didn't put in the samurai holsters. And you know what? I'm going to tell the world about this. Like, this is a scandal. How could you do that? How could you disrespect samurai culture and not put in the holsters? Like, what kind of person are you? So, I may regret it. Maybe a samurai will come to my house and be like, you drew, I don't know how to talk like a samurai, but it'll be like, you drew samurai wrong. You shall now die. Do, 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 do. Does anybody know the pros and cons of tapas versus webtoon? Wish I could say I did. I've spent more time on webtoons. I think there's maybe a bigger reach, but at the same time, I think you're probably going to get less chance. It's like that. Maybe it's too flooded on webtoons. I do think like webtoons is the place that people go. Like that's the most well known though. Like so, I don't know. I say do both. That's what I'd do if I was really trying to do a web comic. I might do both. Although I do have a webtoons, but I'm not like serious webcomic person. I'm just kind of throwing some of my old comics up there. The thing that this needs to differentiate some things is probably some color or grays, but I don't know if I'm going to go that far just yet or ever. All right, so let's fix this up a little. Go back over this a little now that it's dry. Do. I don't know how to do these crisscrossy things. They're kind of. Whoops. I was on a roll there for a sec. No, I was never on a roll. That'll do the trick. All right. Look at that. No rulers, no circle templates. Just taking a breath and making it happen. It's not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect. But guess how much I care? Uh, what do I put inside of it? I'll put like some squiggly lines. There's some kind of design on the one I saw. That'll do. Squiggly lines. I could always white it out and put something real in there if I feel like it's not working. I might be fudging that part up pretty bad. Sword sheaves, Marsh. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to say sheaves though, because it doesn't feel right. I don't know why. Ugh. Does places like Gumroad, Webtoons, Tapas count as being published? Yes, it does. And nobody, I don't feel like, to me, published means anytime you put it in public. Putting it on Instagram counts as published. But, there's certainly different degrees of publishedness. Nah, only ninjas make house calls, Marsh. You're probably right. Tangent. I hate when I do a tangent. It's kind of impossible though not to get some tangents in when you're doing, a samurai really, you know. Let's be let's be real, yo. Crap. I got to get that. I got to remember that horizon line, yo. It's really important. It makes things look so much better when you get the horizon line at least relatively right, you know. But that's all right, because right here, that junk can be all blacked out. Because I just decided that his inner shirt is black, because it makes it easier. When in doubt, black it out. Ah, I'm doing it again. See, there's so many details. It's so easy to mess it up. Oh well. That's why they call this a sketch. And if I really mess it up, that'll be why I call it abstract. That's not horrible. It's a little bit horrible. It's not horrible. It's a little bit horrible. That's how it works. Doop, 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 doop. It's not looking. I don't know. I keep thinking like it's looking pretty okay. So yeah, we'll see. You get like into all these details, and you're like, I think it's looking okay. It's kind of looking okay, and then you finally finish it, and you look at it, and you're like, ooh, that was not okay. Or you think it's good. You're like, oh yeah, I did a good job, and then you wake up the next day, and you're like, what? What happened? What did I just do to this poor drawing? Do 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 do. Uh, uh. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna keep those details. There's these details of like strings, and nobody needs to have those details. How like um what do you call that? What do they call it when things don't match in your outfit? It's like there's a word for it. How tacky? How tacky is that? He's wearing white socks and everything else is like black or something else. But hey, that's what it looks like. That's what all the cool samurais are wearing. So I don't see what the problem is. Mm-mm-mm-mm. That's what all the cool samurais do. Oh yeah. The problem is that's going to be is the face and this arm, because this arm is going back, and I don't think I really positioned the armor the right way. But I'm just going to kind of fake it, I guess. Just paint this black. I have a samurai, I like to paint it black. Yeah, that works. That's fine. But this mask, that's the tough part. I might have to do a little pencil drawing in there just to get it a little more right. And after I'm done with this drawing, I'll be quitting here, you know. But I appreciate you guys. There's still people hanging out with me, so I appreciate you guys hanging out. Are you guys doing some drawing? I hope you're getting something done while you're hanging out here, doing some art or whatever. Curious to hear what everybody's up to. Get a better pencil. Where's my stuff? It's like I'm kind of organized, but then I lose stuff still. I'm going to put this one in here. And then let's see. I need a better pencil. Here we go. I suppose I should sharpen it. Do. This was like a revelation when I found out about that there's a sharpener in the end of these pencils in the back end. It kind of doesn't work that well though, or at least mine doesn't. And it always leaks out the stuff. It's not the greatest, but oh, am I sharpening the wrong end? I mean, there's no wrong end really, but it'd probably make it easier if I sharpen the right end a little bit. Yeah, that's sharper. It seems like the shavings or whatever never stop coming out though. Do. All right, let's see. We're going to maybe go with a koala face. Let's get the koala pictures out. Koala face. I never thought I was going to be a furry artist. Angry koala. But he's still going to be relatively cute, right? I'll try. I don't know if I can draw cute. There's no way I can show the ears without it looking weird, so I won't try. He's kind of got a little bit of a Yoda look to him, maybe. That would be crazy. I think samurais have I'm going to give him a little collar. I think samurais have collars, and if they don't, well, I already shared the scenario of what might happen, what might end up being my fate. Just drawing designs, yo. I have no clue if this even comes close to authentic samurai, but what can we say? I'm making him a koala anyway, so how authentic is it really going to be? Do. feel like Kirby would be proud with these crazy antler looking things. Maybe he can be Kirby the koala samurai. I'll just keep this stuff simple, a little as simple as I can. Fake it till you break it. That's what I never say. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Eh, that'll do the trick, I think. Go right for the nose. When you draw a koala, and I'm just finding this out now because it's the first koala I've ever drawn. When you're drawing a koala, it's all about the nose action. If you don't get the nose right, you don't get it right. And you should give up your career of koala drawing. That's koala drawing lesson 101. And it's the law. So, do not disobey, please, or else. Do. That says koala in my book, my sketchbook. Mm. Mm. Oh, I'm doing that thing of not doing the perspective right again. Dang it. I fixed it a little, but oh well. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Throw a little shadow in there. It's kind of interesting how you can like almost fix things as you're inking, kind of intuitively. Sometimes you mess things up though, but probably doing a good amount of both. Oh, cool. This little jewel here really goes with the theme of the nose shape. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I didn't mean it. Didn't mean to do that, but it's now done. Fearless line making. It's kind of there. Just about there. Let's see. Throw some shadows in the right spots and strategic spots. Throw a little depth and contrast in there. What else? What else? I don't want to go too far, but just getting those little shadows in there will go a long way sometimes. It's easy to go too far though. So I'm trying not to do that. Do-do, do-do, do-do. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of think that's a koala samurai. What do you guys think? Better stop noodle on it before I mess it up. Let me put my little Siggy in there. I think I already messed up my Siggy. Do. All right, let's check in with the chat. Wow, I have even more people watching. Cool. So, what do you think of my samurai? Let's see what's up with the chat. See if there's anything I missed, anything in caps. Oh, there's some caps here, I think. Do. All right. Let's see. Marsh, will you be making a small print of this awesome samurai suggested by Dee? I mean, I could. I think it came out okay. Might be worthwhile. I'm working on an assignment. I'll be at it for weeks. So I'm glad to have you drawing and reading the chat. Well, you're in luck. I mean, you should follow some of these other people too. They do this stuff too. Like, yeah, I know you follow Didi and stuff too. So, a lot of the people in the chat do videos too. But yeah, so they do like live streams and stuff. But I'll be doing a lot of videos. Like I did three last. Well, technically, if we're counting today as last week, I've done four, but I might be doing even more than that every week. I'm like really digging the vibes of doing videos on YouTube now. I'm back in my flow, I think. So, I got my setup here. That's pretty good. So, you know, if you got work to do and you feel like listening to me endlessly, I don't know. We'll see how many I do, but I'm currently drawing some sketch cards while watching. Cool. That's a great thing to be doing. Do you have an IG? DD does have an IG. Marsh is a furry, confirmed. I know, right? Excuse me. Don't give Marsh a bad rep, Frank. I'm not sure what she's referencing to, but yes, don't give me a bad rep, I guess. Frank says, "You are okay. I am good with that." Okay. I still am not sure I am following the right Landon. Looking good, Marsh. Thank you. Do. I would love to do vids at some point. I know a lot of artists that I would love to interview. Also, would love to do art tutorial videos. I mean, Nathan, you should do it especially if you want to. It's a it's a good thing, and if you do a good job, you could actually make it into a little bit of income. I'm not making a ton, but very cool illustration, Marsh. Thanks, Nelly. Didi's gonna buy a print of this. Oh, cool. I appreciate all the support. You guys freaking rock. You like the black and white? Yeah, I was thinking, I could color it, but you're right. I should. I've been trying to get into the habit, and I didn't do it this time. I should have took a picture of the pencils, but the pencils were like so loose, it kind of doesn't matter. But I've been trying to get into the habit of getting copies of, both the inks and or the pencils and the inks and stuff like that, or pictures at least. Looks awesome, Marsh. Thanks, Adam. Freaking dope. Thank you. Appreciate that. Christopher, thanks for hanging. Put it on a shirt. Oh my gosh. I never knew that a little samurai drawing would. I do want to do some shirts and stuff too. We'll get Marsh making money. I know you guys did some super chats today, which is really awesome. I appreciate that. Didi sent me that awesome book about making money with art and stuff. And wow, I've been going almost 4 hours. I'm almost on Didi's longevity with her videos. So that being said, thank you everybody for hanging with me. It's been like a really fun show. We was chatting with Josh before this, and then we went on this, and Josh said he might be streaming again. So maybe you guys can jump on Josh's stream or anyone else. But it's been great, and I am getting tired. I'm gonna retire, go chill out, maybe watch a movie. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Didi's video in the morning. And everybody have a great night. And thanks again.